Dr. Dre is in full effect, and I gotta tell y'all a little something. Eazy-E is down with us. MC Ring, you know he's down with us. DJ Yella is down with us. Arabian Prince, you know he's down with us. Tony A the Wizard is down with us. JJ Fag is down with us. Timmy T, you know he's down with us. DJ Pooh, boy, he's down with us. Toddy B and Spade, they're down with us. My boy Ice Cube, you know he's down with us. I like to mention, so pay attention to where I'm from, Compton, but the tapes are from the Roadium. My name is Dre, listen while I play. And by the way, I'm also down with NWA. Yo, Steve at the Roadium is down with us. Slanging funky tapes, it is a must. We're number one.
Tony A. Tony A. When you're ready, go.
Yo, welcome back everybody to Roadium Radio episode 29. And before I introduce my special guest, I want to give a shout out to Jen from Fashion Town. Jen from Fashion Town, his store is located borderline Torrance, borderline Carson. Today I went to a store and he blessed me with his hat and this shirt. So once again, Fashion Town, Jen, much love, much respect to him. I also want to promote the mixtape DOCUMIXERY. You can find that at DOCUMIXERY.com. You heard me say this plenty of times that I will put it up against any West Coast documentary. I put my money on it, so you will not be disappointed. And for those of you that have been asking, do I have any more CDs left? If you don't want to hit the super chat, you can go to the website, DOCUMIXERY.com. And you can actually hit the donation button for $25. I'll send you all four, but I'll announce that a little bit later. And once again, we are on all major platforms, podcasts. You can go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart Radio, all major platforms. Other than that, for those that have been DMing me and texting me and inboxing me as far as how do I subscribe to your YouTube page? All you got to do is just hit subscribe. I know some of you guys have told me that you guys are not too computer savvy. I get it. I understand. Just hit the word subscribe, hit the bell notification button for future content. But once again, I'll go ahead and reiterate those announcements a little later on. But let me get into my next guest, very special guest. Many of you have been hitting me up and who is this, who is this, who is this? Well, if you just log in, you'll find out who it is. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and answer every single one of you guys' questions. This man has worked with artists and producers such as Too Short, Tony, Keisha Cole, Tech Nine, etc. I'll allow him to elaborate a little bit more on that. But without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce my next guest. Is the Don MH.
Yeah,
Don.
that's right. What's up, brother?
Many people are interested in who you are, but before we get into your, if I'm correct, your new EP that you'll be releasing.
Yes, right.
Your new music.
It's out right now. Actually, it's on all live. It's live on all platforms right now.
Okay, so it's out.
Yeah, 3,650 days.
Okay, and we're gonna get into why that title.
It's
okay?
all good. It's all good.
But what I want to do is get a little bit into your history, as far as like where were you raised, where were you born at?
I was born and raised in Oakland, California. I'm a California native. I've been spending a lot of time in LA since I was real young. A lot of family down here, so I'm a California kid.
Oh, so going back and forth.
Back and forth, yeah.
Okay.
I come spend the summers down in LA, and I'll be and shoot back up to the Bay in Oakland. You know.
All right. You know, and if you can give us somewhat a picture of what Oakland was, possibly in the 80s, early 90s. I'll give you an example of what I mean. Right here in the city of Wilmington, where I was raised.
Okay.
It was an all Mexican town with blacks and Mexicans here in the late 80s. In the east side, there was we had Bloods, we had East Side Pain. On the west side, we had Bloods that were Chronicles.
Okay.
And then we had the east side and west side, Wheelmont's gangs. And everybody was killing each other.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Crack was at an all-time high.
For
Gang violence was at an all-time high.
Yeah.
So what was Oakland like during those times, man?
Oakland was very violent. You know what I'm saying? Crack was infested. Oakland's a small town. Oakland, they call Oakland like they call it the city of dope because it was basically like just a small town. It was a hub. Oakland like Detroit kind of like.
Okay.
You know, like LA and Oakland was the difference. Like LA was like banging.
Okay.
You know, and it's diversified. Ethnic groups are diversified in LA.
Okay.
But in Oakland, it's like everybody is together.
Okay.
So no matter what hood you go in, if you black, white, Hispanic, that's what hood you come from, and everybody in that hood you gonna ride for.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's just how it is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Oakland was like, basically, it was a rock spot on every corner through the whole city. It's simple as that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you what. When crack cocaine was introduced, man, it fucked up a lot of hoods.
It fucked up a lot of shit, you know, and a lot of people got rich.
Yeah.
But it destroyed a lot of lives too.
Destroyed a lot of lives.
Yeah. And even the ones that got rich, most of their lives got destroyed too, due to the system. You know what I'm saying? So
no, you're absolutely right.
It was a terrible situation.
You know, one thing that I look back at. I went to the junkyard before we get into a little bit more of your history.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the junkyard not too long ago, and I saw some Daytons, some rims.
Yes.
Back in the days, I had some gold Daytons. They cost me a little bit over $2,000 for my Cadillac.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
I found a pair at the junkyard. They wanted $200.
Okay, was it in good condition?
All great condition.
Oh, that's
okay.
Good.
Here's the funny part. We got dudes in jail right now doing life for killing dudes that have Daytons, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then now you tell them what the price is, they're probably like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
$200 for 4 of them.
Yeah. Back in the day, they jack you strip.
Yeah,
for that.
man. So that's a quick, pretty much a picture of what LA and what Oakland was like. Growing up in Oakland or growing up with your family, what type of music would you say was played around your home? Like, what did you grow up with?
I grew up to hip hop.
Really?
Yeah, my father from the streets too, so my parents was young. They had me young, so I kind of like grew up with them.
Okay.
You know, so when I was young, my father, he bumped hip hop. He hit all the spots. He like a legend in Oakland.
Really?
So yeah, so everybody come through Oakland, they know him. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Pops, Big Key. You know what I'm saying? So he had a lot of love. So I kind of grew up a little different than most youngsters. You know what I'm saying? Because I was raised by the dudes that was kind of like controlling the area. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, it was always love, but he introduced me to hip hop at a young age, though, because that's what he listened to.
And your mom, what was she would play whenever, you know?
She kind of was in the fast lane too. She was bumping the hip hop and shit too. You know, mom's was a G too. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
So,
what kind of rappers or what kind of groups would you say?
Back then, you know, being from Oakland, of course, Too Short, NWA, LL Cool J. Really everything that was popping at the time, you know.
Yeah.
But I used to listen to Too Short and NWA a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, as a youngster.
Okay,
you know?
so you would say that those were pretty much your influences.
Yeah, it was West Coast. Yeah, but they influenced me somewhat too. But I was always into like lyricism too. So I took to like Rakim. You know what I'm saying? I used to love Rakim and what else I used to bump? Big Daddy Kane, you know, on the east side. On the east coast.
I would always tell people that Rakim and KRS-One, I always
KRS-One too.
It's no, it doesn't get any more hip hop than that.
Yeah,
Okay. Now, around what age would you say that you started taking, if you will, the pen to the paper and said, "I'm going to start writing"?
I started off memorizing other artists' lyrics.
Okay.
And I would rap them. I would spit them.
Yeah.
I would memorize them. So I spit them, and the youngsters be like, "Damn, that's hot." I'm like, "Damn, that ain't my stuff though." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I started trying to pen my own stuff.
Okay.
I had to be under 10 years old for sure.
Easy.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
What elementary schools did you attend out there?
I went to E. Morris Cox.
Okay.
Oakland, California.
And junior high, was it still junior high?
Yeah, I went to junior high. No, it was
middle school.
It was junior high.
Okay.
We didn't have middle school. We had junior high. Then I went to Winton. Winton, it's up north. I didn't go to no schools in Los Angeles.
Okay.
All my schools was up north. I spent the summers in Los Angeles.
Okay.
I come down here and spend the summers living off Normandy, like in UG hood in the hundreds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was in the middle of hell down here too. You know what I'm saying? So
that'll work. Did you play any sports at all during your?
I played sports when I was young, but about time I learned how to hustle, sports was over with.
Really?
And then I learned I could make music. You know, I was around like Souls of Mischief.
Okay.
And like the Hieroglyphics crew. I'm like 12. They'd take me to the studio. You know what I'm saying? So I started recording, and I was like, man, fuck sports. I ain't got time for that shit.
Right.
That's
right.
what happened. So
You knew that's what you wanted to do.
yeah, I wanted to make music.
So
I wanted
you-
to smoke weed. I wanted to sell rocks and smoke, you know what I'm saying, make music. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, that sounds a lot like my story. You know, it's funny because I knew what I wanted to do at 11 years old. As weird as this may sound, my brother was DJing at a club in Long Beach. It was
Okay.
like an all crip club.
Okay.
And I saw the way he controlled the crowd with the music.
Yeah, for sure.
And I knew at that point I wanted to be a DJ. I was
Yeah.
11 years old.
Yeah.
I think that fucked me up because all I thought about after that was girls and music.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
all I wanted to
for
do.
sure.
You know, I didn't get into producing until I was possibly about 18, 19 years old.
Okay.
And then from there, I ended up, now I ended up directing
Yeah.
my own documentary and hosting my own podcast. But I would say that DJing is pretty much where I think kind of derailed me from applying myself in school.
Yeah.
So now let me ask you, did you graduate high school?
For sure. Honor student. All the way
Really?
through. A hustler, but an honor student. For sure. I was
Damn.
always intelligent. Yeah.
See, you know what? I was always the class clown
Yeah.
that didn't get to finish school. I was too
I
busy
cla-
making
I-
everybody laugh.
I clown and do my thing, but I always just did the work and passed the test. It was simple, you know?
So would you say you were a smart kid?
Yeah, I was very intelligent.
Really?
Yeah, always.
You know, I didn't find out that I was somewhat smart or that I even had a photographic memory until I got out of school.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in school, I wish I would have applied myself, but I never did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Now, growing up, did you ever play any instruments?
I never played instruments. And on the rock, kind of like, as far as music, I would just write music, but I didn't understand the timing of music. I didn't know what a bar was. I didn't know
Right.
none of that. I was just like, I hang on the corner with the homies and just freestyle all day. You know what I'm saying? And then
Right.
I start going to the studio and they're like, yo, you got to stop somewhere.
Right.
So I was like, okay. So shout out to DJ Teray. You know, I used to rock with DJ Teray. He the DJ for Souls of Mischief and Hieroglyphics. But back then they would sign the Jive.
Okay.
You know, I'm a youngster. I'm like probably 13 years old, but they signed the Jive Records. Like they on the TV with videos and you know what I'm saying?
Right,
so it's
right.
like real. So, but I'm at the studio with them. So they like, yo, he hard. Like I can always flow.
Okay.
You know, but I didn't know how to write at the time really, but I could freestyle. So
Okay.
I had to like perfect my craft, you know, and I just kept meeting new people and evolving and taking it to the next level, basically.
That'll
you
work,
know?
man. That'll
For
work.
sure, yeah.
Who would you say, or if there's any that one rapper? I know you said Rakim.
Yeah.
Any other rappers that you would say that possibly helped form your style?
I would say really, I wouldn't even say Rakim for my style. I mean, I grew up listening to like Too Short, Rakim, and NWA and all that. But I say to form my style,
Yeah.
I would say more like Tupac, Nas, and probably like Jay-Z.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, those are some dope ass
Yep.
lyricists
Yeah,
right there.
that's kind of what I gravitated to.
You know, it's funny you mentioned Too Short because I want to say in the 80s, and this is a question for you as well.
Okay.
In the 80s, you may not know a lot of my history, but I'll just share a story.
Okay.
There was a Japanese man by the name of Steve Yano who I based this documentary on in somewhat of a small picture right here.
Okay,
of him.
okay.
Passed away about 5 years ago. And he made a huge impact in West Coast hip hop because all he did was sell records, sell mixtapes out of a outdoor swap meet.
Hold on. That picture look familiar.
you
Where's the
go.
swap meet was at?
In Gardena at the Roadium swap meet.
Okay.
That's why we call this Roadium Radio.
Okay, that's what's up.
And what happened was I met Dr. Dre through him in 1987. Mm-hmm. So around that time, I go to Dr. Dre's house. I usually tell people in that movie Straight Outta Compton, when Dr. Dre leaves his mom's house to go live with his cousin Jinx, that's around the time I met him because that's when I was going to go see him. And I saw him cutting some tapes, and he played this one real slow beat that I thought was hard as fuck. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, for sure.
So he was done with the cassette, and he said, "Oh, that's Too Short." That's what he said, and I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "That shit's about to blow up."
Yeah.
And it was a song, "Freaky Tales."
Oh, yeah, shit blew up.
Oh,
classic.
Dude, classic song,
Yeah.
bro. Classic.
Yeah.
So of course I got that tape, put that motherfucker in my Cadillac,
And rolled
These
to
are
it.
The tales.
Yeah, Too Short went crazy back
Yes,
then.
man.
Yeah, for sure.
What was the first, if you could remember, Too Short song?
The first Too Short song I probably heard, I probably can't even tell you because you too short for my like he was in my neighborhood.
Okay.
Like they hung out like right down the street from my grandmama's house. So he was just like in the hood, you know.
Right.
So he was making cassettes and doing underground stuff well before he had Freaky Tales. So it was before Freaky Tales for sure.
Okay.
You know, Freaky Tales went like major, but the first hip hop poster I had was Too Short, 75 Girls and Counting. You know what I'm saying? That's before Freaky Tales with the dope. That's when he had That's Your Life, smoking that glass pipe. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Way old school.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, Too Short. He's a legend too, man. Shout out to Short Dog, man. He put it down for Oakland too, for sure.
Around, you know, it's funny you mentioned those tapes because I was DJing. As funny as this may sound, I was DJing a divorce party.
Okay.
Some dude that
Yeah.
I need you to come DJ this party. Who is it? My boy just got a divorce. Pay me $500. I want to DJ this
He was
divorce
happy.
party.
You got away
He was
from him, right?
happy.
Yeah.
So I remember going in his room and he had some cassettes, and one of the cassettes was Too Short. I guess he had a trench coat and he was like this and he had a cap.
That's 75 Girls and Counting.
Oh, that's
the one.
And he goes, "You ever heard of this guy?" And I
Yeah.
said, "No." Now this is before Trey showed me Freaky Tales.
Yeah, it's before Freaky Tales.
Yeah, and then he goes, "This guy's dope, man.
Yeah.
He's out of the
It's
Bay
the early
Area."
80s.
Yeah,
The early 80s.
And I was
yeah.
like, "For real?" And I remember looking at the cassette.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know who the hell this dude is.
Yeah.
You know, because we were still bumping, whether it be Spoonie G, Schoolie D, Run
Yeah.
DMC.
Short was something. The hustlers, the hustlers in the streets of Oakland put Short on.
Yeah.
You know, he was signed to some dudes from my neighborhood.
Okay.
The boys on the Dirt Road. Dirt Road, a legendary hood dope spot in Oakland.
Okay.
But they put Short music out there. They was pushing him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So and Short, he made a career. He ran. He had a good career. He did good.
Oh.
You know.
Now let me ask you this. Now you're writing or you're flowing freestyling around the age of 13, if I'm correct.
I was probably doing it before then, but by the age of 13, I was going to the studio and I was putting it on wax.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask you. Around what age were you and who were you with? Like what groups that told you, "Come on, man, we got this beat. You know, we need you to flow on it."
I started off going with hieroglyphics, like rocking with Casual, DJ Teray.
Okay.
Like hip hop, the real hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
A+, but they also put they rock with the Loonies a lot too.
Okay.
You know, see, Oakland is a small community, so in the music scene, it's like everybody kind of like, all right, say you get on, then something else gonna come off of you, and it's just gonna keep going. You know what I'm saying? So I was like always the youngest out of all the crew, so I was rocking with hieroglyphics. But I wasn't a member of hieroglyphics. I was just a little homeboy.
Right.
You know, and I'm from Walnut Street in East Oakland. That's a legendary block too. And you got like 3 Times Crazy. If you ever heard of 3 Times Crazy, Keek the Sneak. They come from Walnut. We all from the same block.
Okay.
So I'm rocking with them too. You know what I'm saying? So, but I didn't perfect my craft yet.
Okay.
I was young, you know. I was learning.
Were you? Would you on a feature or was this your own song?
I was doing my own songs. I go to the studio and I get on my own. They're like, it'd be my session.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like DJ Teray be like, "Yo, what you doing? I'm about to come snatch you." I'm like, "All right."
Okay.
He producing for like hit movies. He got plaques on the wall and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he had loaded the beat. Back then we on ADATs. I think it was probably ADATs we was working on.
We had at least 3 or 4 possibly.
It was 3 ADATs. Reels or ADATs. That's what we was working on way back.
For those youngsters that may not know what an ADAT is, there was actually a VHS
It looked
cassette.
like a VHS cassette.
Yeah,
it's
VHS
big.
cassette, and you needed to. Each one was 8 tracks.
Yeah,
So you had to have 24. You had
that's
to
how
buy
you had to do it.
Like 3 of them.
Yeah.
So did anything get released of yours during that
Nothing
time?
got released at that time. I wasn't ready yet on the real.
Okay.
The music was cool, but it wouldn't meet my standards now. But how it happened, how it all evolved. I was at my mother's house.
Okay.
This is how the regime got birthed.
Okay.
The regime with Yuck Mouth, Tech Nine, and Gonzo, myself, Mad Max, Fats, and the regime. We was like affiliated with the Outlaws and Redman and rock with us too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at my mama's house and a member of 3 Times Crazy come to the house to holler at me, and he like, "Yo, Yuck Mouth outside." But the member from the 3 Times Crazy, it's actually my god brother.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? it's Bart. He's my god brother. So he come to the house. He like, yo, little bro, I'm about to hit a corner with Pops, with my father. He said, Yuck Mouth in the car outside. This old school. We bumping Junior Mafia. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
this back in the day.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right. He said, yo, when I leave, don't just leave him out there, go holler at him. I said, all right, cool. So I go down there to holler at him. And he like, yo, what's up? You got some tree? I'm like, yeah. He like, let's smoke something. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I'm in my early teens.
Right.
But I got some tree, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I jump in with him. He had a Land Rover. He had a major deal. He's a platinum artist.
Right.
He on tour with Biggie Smalls, all the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we kicking it. We listen to Junior Mafia. Everybody in the car freestyling. He had Mad Max and he had Fast with him. So everybody rap, but they don't know I rap.
Okay.
So after they all freestyle, I start freestyling. And they like, damn, that little nigga hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They said, who you roll with? 3 times Scratch? I said, I roll myself. Yuck was like, yo, come to LA and fuck with me. I said, all right. But we in Oakland at the time.
Right.
I said, all right, no doubt. I said, call me. Called me like a week later. Like, yo, I gotta go to school though too. Like, yo, why don't you come down? Come to LA. Like, all right, I'm gonna get you a ticket, man. I'm like, all right. I come down to LA. Boom. Get out of school. I'm flying to LA. We go to the studio. We had Enterprise Studios back in the day in Burbank. That was like one of the major studios. Yeah. Everybody be in there. Lil' Kim, Dogg Pound, Outlaws, Ja Rule, everybody in there.
Yeah.
So we in there, we start working. But we hanging together every day. We just running through LA. And he like, yo, man, we need a name for our crew. Cause now we like brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we like, yo, we the Regime. Like, yeah, that's what's up. And we all agreed on it, like, yeah, we the Regime. Okay. And that's how it really formed. From me, Mad Max, Fat Bossy, and Yuck Mouth running through LA in that Range Rover with the TVs and the headrest. And that's how we started the Regime.
And at that time, what was your name?
I was Little Key.
Okay, and
Little Key of the Regime.
Why Little Key?
Because Little Key was my name because that's my street name. I'm still Little Key, but I just decided to switch it up. The hood started calling me MH.
Okay.
They start calling me Most Honorable.
Okay.
Because once from the way I was conducting myself in the neighborhood.
Okay.
And then they start calling me MH for short, and then they start calling me the Don. So it just kind of stuck.
That'll work.
But my father is Big Key. I'm Little Key. Okay. So that's why I was Little Key. I just ran with my name, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I formed a group. So Yuck Mouth, he was in the Loonies, and he like, yo, I'm about to sign a Rap A Lot. So I'm gonna sign a Rap A Lot. And I'm gonna do a solo album, you know, which was Thugged Out. So we in the studio and he recording Thugged Out. So we like, yo, after I come out, Fats, you gonna come out. Me and Max was the youngest. And he like, you, Max and Key, y'all gonna be a group. Y'all gonna come out after Fats.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, cool. So we having sessions too. We working with Bosco, which is another legendary producer. Yeah. Bosco doing a lot of stuff. He worked with a lot of he got plaques. Working with Mike Dean. Okay. If y'all not familiar with Mike Dean, he was like our first producer. One Drop Scott, Tone Capone. These all legendary producers. Mike Dean is like, he did every Kanye West album. He like the hottest producer in hip hop right now. He doing Travis Scott. He doing everything. What you hearing on the radio, that's him.
Okay.
But he was Regime. He actually like trained me on how to deliver my rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But he started working with Scarface all the way up to Travis Scott. Okay. Ghetto Boys to Travis Scott. So you know he a legend. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So and we just kept working. That's how it all started, man.
That'll work. And how long was this group formed before, if you will, you took your break?
It formed in probably like the mid-90s, I would say. And then I took my break in like the mid-2000s.
Okay. So
but I kind of have veered off from music.
Okay.
Around like, we did an album. So instead of waiting on a budget from the majors to do an album, what I did, because I'm from the street, so I'm already getting some money. I'm a kid, but I'm getting my coins. So I'm like, yo, I tell Max, I said, man, look, man, I'm just gonna put the bread up and we gonna do an album.
Yeah.
Cause I'm from Oakland, so we go independent. I don't need the majors. I could push units right here. The hood, the streets gonna support me.
Yeah.
So, but Max from South Central.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He from 30s. He from Harlem. So he come to Oakland, and we record the album. And we recorded the album, which was Thug Lords. We knocked that off. And Keisha Cole was with us too during the album.
Okay.
Keisha was young, but we recorded the album at Tony studio.
Okay.
So we booked out the studio. Tony, they like family too. They inspired me a lot too. Shout out Dwayne, Raphael, everybody over there. EB, Elijah, what's up? So we at the studio every day recording with the Tonys.
Okay.
All right. And Keisha at the studio session with us every day too. And Keisha would actually, to be real with you, she was supposed to be like come after us.
Okay.
She was with us. You know what I'm saying? So she on the album and everything, but we do a distribution deal, and this is where it all went wrong at.
Okay.
The distributors, we had a bad deal. So when the deal went bad, it kind of like I lost inspiration.
Yeah.
Cause I had put everything into that, and it's like, yo, y'all just gonna rob me like that? And I didn't know the game. I didn't know nothing about music.
Right.
I knew how to make music, but I didn't know about the business. The business is shady as fuck.
Real shady.
So I had to learn. I learned the hard way. We got took. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I want you to hold that thought because we're going to take a break.
Okay.
And we're going to pick up right where we left off.
All right.
Okay, because I want to
good.
continue that story. It's a good story, man. And I think it's good enough where people are going to learn from it.
For sure.
And I think that's what a lot of this younger generation needs to learn, the pitfalls, if you will, trying to go with a major distributor or a major label.
Yeah. Whatever it is, whoever you go with, just learn the business.
Learn the business. So once again, we are in the building with MH the motherfucking Don. So make sure you call a friend, text a friend, page a friend, slap the hell out of a friend, let them know that MH the Don is in the motherfucking building. We'll be back after the 10 minutes. We're gonna go drink a beer and come back.
Cold tear shit up. AOD, you got a level? B, hit record, man.
Get busy with Easy and Tony A on the 12 technique. See?
There's a little something about a nigga like me. They never should have 35 take from me.
Yo, this is your main man.
You don't like Tony A, well, fuck you.
I'm rocking shit at the Roadium. Let's do 1, 2, 1, 2. Right about now, you
Drop that, baby.
What it do is Mr. Little One chilling on Roadium Radio with the one and only Tony A and John motherfucking Elkin, boy.
Hey, what up? It's your boy Mr. Shadow. You're watching Roadium Radio with my homeboy Tony A the Wizard. You know what time it is.
Yeah, what up? This is Mr. Night Owl, and you're listening to Roadium Radio with the legendary Tony A the motherfucking Wizard.
Yo, what's cracking? Nosotros somos Aqua y estamos aquí con Tony A the Wizard. You know Roadium Radio, damn it. You know what it is.
Yo, what up? This is Mellow Man Ace and Padrino, and you tuned in to Roadium Radio with my man Tony A. Keep it locked.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy OG Arabian Prince from the world's most dangerous group, NWA. Sitting here with my boy Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio.
What's up? This is Esther Dazzle, Spanish Fly, Harbor Area's finest. Tune in to Tony A on Roadium Radio.
What's up, everybody? It's your homegirl Magic Girl, and you are now listening to Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
Yo, what's up? This is Bozo, aka Emiliano. You tune into Roadium Radio on Tony Vision's YouTube channel. Let's get it.
What up? It's Mr. Soto. You guys are now in tune to Roadium Radio right here on Tony Vision on YouTube. Yep.
Check it out. This is MC Poncho on the MIC. Shout out to Tony A the Wizard, Roadium Radio. You already know.
What up, this is DJ Trick, Spanish Fly, and you're watching
Tony A on the Roadium Radio Show.
Big G, Roadium Radio, Tony A in full effect. Stay tuned, watch, listen. This is how we doing it over here.
Yo, what up? I'm out here. This Big Daddy Swoles. I'm jamming with my man, Tony A the Wizard, out here on Roadium Radio. The podcast is off the hook. Check us out.
This is DJ Clientele, and you are listening to Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
Yeah, this Baby Bounce here with Tony A the Wizard. You are now tuned in to the Roadium Radio. We do it for the people. You hear me?
Mic check, mic check. Ernie G from Proper Dos, and I'm listening to Tony A the motherfucking Wizard on Roadium Radio. And if you don't know, you should know.
What's up, everybody? This is Soren Baker. I'm the author of the book, The History of Gangster Rap, in stores now worldwide. And you're listening to Roadium Radio, hosted by Tony A. Make sure to check it out. We talk about the Roadium mixtapes. We're here. Soren Baker, Roadium Radio.
Y'all, this is Really Greg, and I'm chilling with Tony the Wizard on Roadium Radio.
Yo, this is Daniel Jones, the D to the motherfucking G Media Clips. Here with your boy, Tony A the Wizard on the Roadium Radio Show.
Yo, what's up? This is John motherfucking Elkins, and you're tuned in to Roadium Radio with my homeboy, DJ Tony A the Wizard.
What up, West Coast and all hip-hop fans? This is your girl, Violet Brown, and I'm here with Tony A the Wizard. And if you're rolling with us right now, that means that you love West Coast hip-hop. And if you want to know the real deal from the real players, the real people behind the scenes, you better pick up Tony's new film, Roadium Mixtape DOCUMIXERY. You get it by going to DOCUMIXERY.com. You better get this, and I want to do a special shout out and a rest in peace to my man Steve YANO. I'm out.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here at Roadium Radio, episode 29, with MH the motherfucking Don. So we're going to go ahead and jump right back into it. Right before you went to break, you were talking about how you guys have had a bad distribution deal.
Yeah.
And you didn't, at the time, you didn't know anything about the business.
Nah, I know nothing about it.
And you know what? And here's the thing about, if you will, people that are young in the game. And when I say young, I'm not necessarily talking about age. People who may not know the ins and outs of this business.
Yeah.
People that do know the business will look at a young person like you and say, you know what, I can take this guy for a ride, you know?
Yeah.
And it's true. And it's true. I've known a lot of people that had gotten big advances, but didn't know that advance was recoupable. They had to pay that shit
for
back.
For sure. Ain't nothing free.
So so go ahead and continue to share about that bad experience, that bad deal that you had.
Basically, what happened was, I'm going to break it down first of all. Like, we did a distribution deal with Southwest Distribution. It was out of Texas. But at the same time, we was pushing units ourselves.
Okay.
We pulling them to the record store back then. We pulling right up to the record store with a trunk full of CDs, tapes, and everything. We selling them. So we pull up at the store. It's a store called Rasputin's in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And they was a chain. And we hit all the swap meets too. But anyway, I pull up and I'm like, y'all got this CD. I'm gonna put it on the shelves. And they like, all right, give me 50 copies on consignment. I said, all right, cool, no problem. So he write up the paperwork, I give him the 50 copies. But I'm like, but he ain't knowing the impact this shit got on the street. It was the regime. It had the dragon on it. Yuck had just dropped Thugged Out, and he doing mad numbers at the time. He was real hot. And he's talking about the dragon. You know what I'm saying? So I put it in the store. So the next day I called the store. And I'm like, yo, what's up? He like, damn, you just came here last night. What's up? I said, man, I just trying to see how the CD doing. He said, well, let me go to this new release and let me look. So we go to the shelf. He said, damn, it's not on the shelf. They must never put it out. So we went to the back. He said, my motherfucker sold out.
Sold out in one night.
The day wasn't even over with. Early in the day. He said, man, bring me about 10 boxes of that shit down here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I said, I'll be down there. I'm coming down there. So he basically started doing over 100 units a day out of each location.
Okay.
All the swap meets doing 100 units too. The streets, it was big. It was doing
that's good money, right?
It was doing numbers. And back then, you getting $8 a copy too.
Yeah.
So $800 every 100 CDs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was like grinding back then. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But
I miss those days, to be honest.
Them days was good, but
Yeah.
now I think it's better today though.
Okay.
Because you don't have to work so hard to reach the people because of the internet.
Right.
Back then, wasn't no internet. You had to really like pull up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now you can just hit YouTube. That shit's everywhere, 1 million views. You know what I'm saying? It's a new day, so it's different. There's more outlets to make money as well. So people ask me how I feel about the industry. I feel like today is a better time to me, and artists are getting paid more too. You know, for shows and everything. Back then, if you had a platinum record, I mean, you might have been getting 10 G's for a show.
Yeah.
20 if you was lucky. You know what I'm saying? Now you're gonna get 100, 2, maybe 1 million. I mean, ain't no nothing. The numbers is high now. So if you get hot, so I think it's a better time in music. But back then, so this shit was selling out like crazy. But as far as like, we did an overseas deal too. It came out in 6 different countries. They robbed us. Southwest robbed us. So it was bad. It was real bad. You know, they still selling it to this day online. I never got a Buffalo nickel. They still pushing it to this day.
What was the name of the album?
It was called Thug Lord Religion.
Thug Lord Religion.
Regime Presents.
Can people like?
It's online. It's everywhere. Lil Key and Mad Max.
Okay.
Yeah, featuring Yugmouth, Killer Tay, Sibo, Keisha Cole. Who else on that thing, man? Steady Mobbing at the time. They were signing No Limit.
Okay.
At the time.
Now, how long from the release date to that you found out that
we was getting fucked?
Yeah.
It didn't take very long. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
You could tell when the shit's selling everywhere and you ain't getting no chat. I think when I really realized it, I had a show. So the promoters called us for a show. So we go to Denver for a show.
Mm-hmm.
We go to Denver and it was E40 on the bill, Yugmouth on the bill, and the Regime was on the bill.
Okay.
So E40 didn't come. 40 like, yo, I can't make it. Like, y'all hold it down. Like, all right, word, it's a bet. So I go out there and rock. The sound system wasn't good because I got there late, so we couldn't even do mic check. So I'm on stage. They can't really hear the mic, the music playing, but the crowd singing all the words. So I'm like, they bought that shit.
Right. They knew it.
Yeah, I had never been to Denver before.
Right.
They knew every word for word. They singing that shit, every song. I said, this shit crazy.
And what year did the album drop?
In 2000.
Okay, exactly 2000.
It was 2000, yeah.
Oh.
It came out like, I think it was 2000, yeah.
That's dope.
And then we had a world tour overseas too. Off the album, we were supposed to hit like 6 countries, you know. But they sent the paperwork over, the contracts and everything. They was gonna pay us half up front, but I didn't even go. I was going through so much in life at that time. I was like, I'm done with this shit, and I had quit rapping for a minute.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, don't feel bad about not traveling. Well, maybe you should. I don't know.
That was probably the worst decision I ever made in my life, on the real.
Well, I'm gonna share with you some of the decisions that I made that I still have to live with. Being 51 years old today, I still look back and I think to myself like, why in the fuck didn't I go? I was booked to go to Australia, to go to Israel, to go to Japan, to go to Germany.
We was going to all them states too. Them countries too.
And when they told me it was about a 13-hour flight, I was like, fuck that.
You should have went.
I know. I mean, I had things going on here, and I was a young dad. But I thought, you know what? Those days will come back.
Yeah.
And they never did.
Yeah.
And they never did.
But I wasn't tripping off the flight. I didn't go. I was just. It was a dark period in my life.
Okay.
And I was just like, man, I ain't even going, man.
Do you care? You don't have to, but do you care to share what you were going through, possibly, man?
At the time, my father had a manslaughter charge.
Okay.
At the time, and some people close to me had passed away.
Okay.
I flipped over in the car like 6-7 times, then it died myself. And I was just like, I'm cool. And also, at the time it was a struggle. My bread was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So doing that, and then everybody know me. At the time I was hot, so I looked like I got jewels and I'm shining, but I had no fucking paper. You know what I'm saying? That shit is ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was just like, man, I'm done with this rap shit. I went to the streets. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I did what I knew best.
Right.
I had to handle my business. So, and that's what it was. Because music is good. Music pays off, but music takes time. But when the money come in, it come heavy.
Yeah.
You know, but it takes time.
Yeah.
So you gonna have to maintain the day. But when the light bill due today, you gotta figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta figure it out. You gotta man up.
Yeah, you gotta man up.
You know, one thing about me that I was a nickel and dimer. I used to curb serve on the street.
That's cool, me too. Come
Just
from
to
the
buy a
bottom.
mixer,
Yeah.
some Chuck Taylors and whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
But as soon as I got my record deal in 1990, and it came out in 1990, my record came out in 1991. That's when I said, okay, I gotta stop.
Yeah.
Because I know I have a good thing here, and if I fuck it up, I'm done.
And the label gonna drop you.
Yeah.
When they find out you really in the street, they're gonna drop you.
Yeah.
I was gonna sign to Epic. I had a deal with Epic, and the A&R used to come see me like on a regular. Like he give me hella beats. Like, yo, write to this. I'm like, all right. So he come back and see me like, did you write to him? Like, yeah. He like, let me hear it. I spit it. He like, yo, you like Jay-Z or something, bro? You fucking hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for sure. But at this time, I was like heavy in the streets, and I wasn't hungry no more. I was doing all right for myself, you know.
Right. You weren't worried about the rap game at the time.
I didn't even give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But I never stopped writing. I wouldn't put it out, but I would write and record it, but I just would never drop it. So, but when he found out I was really in the streets, it blew the deal because you're a liability.
Yeah,
to the label. You want me to dump millions of dollars into you, and you under dead or in jail. So that's how they look at it.
Yeah.
So they be scared to invest in you. You know, but at the time I was still young and I didn't realize that. So I think I let him see too much. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it fucked my deal off.
And I think that's what happens to a lot of athletes. That's why on draft day, a lot of these coaches do their homework. They'll talk to their friends, their neighbors or whatever to see if he's a liability, because they're not about to give you $50 million, you know.
When you go pro as an athlete, they tell you to cut ties with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I got a gang of partners that was in the pros, you know what I'm saying? I got family in the pros too. And I had some people that played sports I was real close to. You know what I'm saying? And when they went pro, they changed. I was like, man, what's up? But the league tries to sever ties, your old ties.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
If you're a real one, you ain't gonna go for that though. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Right. So now there was a time where I've read that you were actually incarcerated.
Yeah.
You care to elaborate a little bit on that and what happened?
I did more time than most rappers, I'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? But I did 12 years in the feds.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I've been in the state in the feds actually, but that's where my hiatus really came from, you know?
Okay.
I caught a charge, trafficking, narcotics. Got caught up in DC.
Okay.
You know, getting that money and the feds came. Simple as that. So I had to go sit down for a minute, you know.
Yeah. You know, usually when something like that happens, I don't know your situation, but usually when something like that happens, somebody snitched.
Somebody snitched for sure.
Yeah.
I ain't get caught when I had a conspiracy charge.
Right.
So, but it's crazy though. I was under investigation for like 5 years, you know. But at the time, it wasn't like I ain't on the corner.
Right.
I ain't touching nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it was more sophisticated than that. By at this time, you know, I'm just kicking it, sipping champagne, and doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time they after me. You know, the line is hit. They sitting outside the house, but I know they out there. I know what's going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that shit crazy, man. So, and they finally got me because somebody close to me rolled over on me. You know.
Okay. Like I said, that's usually how it happens.
Yeah.
When you were incarcerated, at what point, if any, did you think I need to start picking this rap thing up again? Was there ever a point?
I never stopped. When I fell, I wrote every day.
Okay.
While I was there, I wrote every day. All I did was exercise, read books, and write music.
Okay.
That's all I did. I came home with I got so many raps, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I never lost my passion to make music. I mean, that's who I am.
Right.
If I feel a certain way, if I got any type of emotion, it's going to come out in music. So I never stopped doing that. I just had to walk that shit down. But if it wasn't for music, I don't even know if I had made it, because that's kind of like how I let the tension off. You know what I'm saying? Blow the steam off.
Kept you going.
Kept you going. Because when you're in there, man, there'd be so much shit going on, man. You'd be ready to just go crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, it's funny that you said when you came out, like you had, a bunch of stuff already written.
Yeah.
There's a guy, an engineer, I won't mention his name. He engineered some of my projects, and he mastered and recorded a lot of Tupac stuff at Death Row.
Okay, that's what's up.
And this guy is funny, but he told me a funny story. At least to me, thought it was funny how Tupac beat his ass one day.
Okay.
You know, and I shouldn't be laughing, but I thought the shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because this guy's a little fucking like goofy dude, and I understand why he got his ass whooped.
He lost the session.
Yeah, well, here's what happened.
You get whooped for that.
Yeah. He told me, he goes, man, I'm in the fucking studio at 9 o'clock in the morning, and Tupac just has a regular bare beat. He's like, don't worry about it. Daz or whoever will come back in and fix it up. Yeah. I just want to lay down my vocals.
Exactly.
So he was like, okay, cool, whatever. He goes, he would finish that song. Let's go to the next song. He goes, now keep in mind, we have 2-inch reels at this time.
Yeah,
you know?
got the reels, yeah.
He's taking it all, putting another one. He wants to lay it down. And he's like, dude, the beat's not even done. And he could tell him, man, I don't give a fuck. Just roll it. Let me bust my shit.
Yeah.
He said, at the end of the day, we did like 10 songs.
For sure.
He said, we did like 10 songs. Pac just loved working. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody from Quick to Dre, everybody would say that Pac just had an awesome work ethic.
Yeah.
He had a lot of songs.
I work the same way.
That's what that reminded me of. So at the very end, he said, dude, I'm tired. I'm going to go get something to eat. He goes, no, I want to do one more. And all he had was just a kick and a clap.
Yeah.
A kick and a clap.
He had a skeleton.
Yeah, pretty much. He
for
said,
sure.
let me rap to it. And he goes like, man, there's nothing there. Like, what do you want me to do? And he said, Pac just came out, started bang, bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang, motherfucker. I told you, run that shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. He goes, I press and play with a fucking bloody nose.
Yeah.
I thought that shit was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Bro. But fucked his
Yeah.
ass up. So
he should have been working.
Should have been working. He's getting paid.
Yeah, he's getting paid. What the fuck? If he's feeling it, let the man record.
Yeah,
but I get the work ethic comes from Tupac set the trend for the work ethic though. You
Mhm.
know, so we might be in the studio. It's like if you ain't ready when everybody ready, you missed the song.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
probably got about 30 minutes to come with something.
Yeah.
If you ain't got it, we moving on. So you know, we had to. That's where I get my work ethic from, but I took it to another level now. I mean, when I go to the studios, the engineers be like, "Whoa, slow down," you know, because I'm one taking.
Right.
Come on, next track. Come on, they keep going. They be like, "Damn, slow down."
Right.
Everybody don't work like that.
Right. No, you're absolutely
Yeah,
right.
I go record 5 songs in a session easy. I mean, that's nothing. you know?
So, now, when was your release date? If I'm correct, last year?
Yeah, I've been out. It'll be a year in a couple days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who did you hook up with as far as production? Are you doing any production yourself?
No, I'm not producing right now. I'm shout out to One Drop Scott, legendary Bay Area producer. Shout out to AG.
Okay.
Who else I've been working with? Cosmo, my boy Cosmo. Shout out to Cos. That's basically my production team right now.
And
but that's like family though, man. We've been in this shit forever. We come up together.
And as far as this EP, how many songs are about 6?
It's 7 songs on there.
Okay,
seven
songs.
Yeah.
And you got a favorite on there? Or are they all your favorite?
I think I got 2 favorites.
Okay. You want to shout them out so people can look for them?
Holla is one. I flipped the Tupac track.
Okay.
I flipped Holla at Me.
Okay. I need to hear that.
Yeah, it's hot. I flipped that. Shout out to One Drop. He laid the track. And also Walnut Flow. I did one for the hood. I'm from Walnut Street in East Oakland.
Okay.
So I did one just for the hood one time called Walnut Flow. I was kind of in my zone. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
Yeah.
Now, when you released this, can you say that you were happy, like, okay, those are strong 7 songs, I'm cool? Or were you possibly like, fuck, we should have took that song off, or we should have added another?
I feel every song on it is a keeper.
Okay.
And that's the response I'm getting back from the fans. I ask them, you know what I'm saying? What y'all feeling this? If they be like, nah, I'm like, all right, we ain't gonna fuck with that then. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'm glad that you said that every song on there's a keeper, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
The mentality back in the 80s and early 90s was this: when a single was released, a vinyl single,
for sure,
they would always say something like, for an example, like the side A is the shit.
Yeah,
that's my single.
Yeah,
the side
you got
B
a B side.
Yeah, it's the cool. You know.
Yeah,
that's, I would always ask these people that would tell me that's like,
why would you put out something like that?
Yeah, exactly. So my mentality producing a song was like, every song's got to be an A side.
Yeah, for sure.
It's got to be.
Really, I just try to. I mean, but it's kind of hard though because everybody's not gonna feel everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I might feel something, you be like, yo, that's whack, and then you might like something, be like, you like that, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard, but I just try to keep it consistent, man. As long as the mix and the mastering is right, the production is proper, and the flow is smooth, crispy, clear, you can understand what I'm saying, and got a message to it in the concept, I think it's quality product. So I just try to keep it consistent and pick the right tracks, because that's the key to it too. You got to pick the right beat, because if you don't pick the right beat, before you even hear a lyric, the beat come on.
Okay.
So if you ain't feeling the beat, the vibe is already gone. So you got to pick the right track that the people gonna feel.
Okay. You know what? I've known some rappers that were somewhat the opposite, and I'm sure you probably have done this in the past, where you had songs written, but no beat.
For sure. I'll write a song and they'll create the beat around it.
Right.
But I still got to feel the beat that they create. If not, scratch it and create another one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to make it right.
Yeah, and that's the way I like to work. I like to tailor make, if you will, a beat for someone whenever I produce it, because today I got people that will tell me, well, I got about 30 beats, let me email them to you. I'm like, no, dude. Yeah. Like if I was a rapper, like, how do you know what I'm feeling?
But I like that though.
Okay.
So say you got 30 beats, well, send them to me. Okay. And I just listen to them over and over and over again till one of them catch me. Okay, so it'll grow on you. It'll catch, like if just because I don't feel it today, I might call the producer and be like, yo, he's like, yo, you felt that? I'm like, nah. I said, man, send me some more shit. But just because I didn't feel it today, don't mean that won't be my vibe tomorrow. Right. Just at this moment in time, right. I don't feel it.
See, and I think technology has made that better. Let me explain to you why. Because remember back then, if you had a 2-inch reel, that bastard cost about $125, and it was only 15 minutes long. Yeah, for sure. You could only fit 3 beats on there. So when people would tell me, show me some beats, it wasn't like I had stacks of reels. So I would do beats, like I would make sure that every beat counted, because I didn't have.
You didn't want to waste money.
Didn't want to waste money. Today's a little bit different.
It's different now. I mean, most producers I deal with, they probably make 5 beats to 10 tracks a day. Yeah. They just get in there, roll a joint, get high, and get the beat on the MPC, and they come up with some beats. Right. You know what I'm saying? So he might make 5 or 10 of them a day, and now they mass producing them too. Yeah. So you got to know the music. If you want to get paid for music, you got to know the music game now, because these youngsters is making this shit so easy. Yeah. Because of technology. Yeah. I mean, I come from the old school when beats cost a lot of money. Yeah. Nowadays, like, man, give me $100. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, that shit knocking. That's all you want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but you got to get your publishing and your placements. Yeah. So the money is still there. Yeah. You're just trying to get this shit out there to the people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But so
you know, it's funny because when I was signed, outside people that didn't have record deals would always ask me how much for a beat. I would charge, believe it or not, 5 G's a beat. Okay.
That's how much it cost. Yeah. Back then.
That's how much it cost for a beat. Yeah. Then you had homies that like were super broke. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, it was still $2,500 for a beat. Yeah,
for sure.
Like I could have been happy.
That was like the lowest.
Yeah, that
was.
But
nowadays, them youngsters ain't paying that.
No, it's
not. The time to change. Yeah. But it's still a lot of money to be made. You know. Yeah. But you just got to create a way. Once you create a way, the money is there. Yeah, for sure.
Now, how has the response of the record been?
I've been getting a lot of love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of love. I've been hearing from people I ain't heard from in years. Like, yo, you back? That shit knocking. Yeah. Like, for sure, homie. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting a lot of love and a lot of fans that I don't even know. They hit me and leaving me messages I asked the fans, yo, what y'all feeling on this? You know, what's your favorite song?
That's good.
I asked them, you know, is this? Yesterday I asked them. I said, yo, is this banging? Is 3,650 days banging? They're like, that shit's banging. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, they say that's a solid project. But that was just a sampler, man. I got so much music stacked up. And what's crazy, all the music that I wrote, I haven't recorded none of it. When I was down, I haven't used none of that. I wrote all new music when I got out. Okay. Because I had access to music. And there I didn't have access to music. You know, I would like write over other people's music. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Or I might just write out, you know, straight off the mind with no beat. But when I got out, they start sending me so many beats. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I start writing.
Have you gotten? Have you been booked any or are starting to get booked for this album as far as shows?
The album, actually, not yet. I'm trying to work on that, but the album only been out for like a few days.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So it's still very new.
It's very new. Yeah, but I'm just starting to put the marketing and start promoting and try to build it up. You know.
That's a good thing, especially like you said with today's technology, whether it's
YouTube, it's easy now because I always analyze and study the game. So I'm you know, when I'm locked down, I'm still trying to stay in tune with technology. So I'm like, damn, that shit easy now, man. You can jump on social media and YouTube and that shit it get out there. It ain't back in the day. We had to go to hood and put posters up. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. You got to pull up where it's 100 motherfuckers on the corner. You don't know if you're gonna get a shootout or what. You know what I'm saying? If they tripping,
right?
And yo, what's up, homie? What you got? Man, I'm pushing this music, bro. Let me put these flyers in. You know, you going to everybody hood just trying to spread it. You know, you ain't even got to do that shit no more. But that's cool to be in tune with the neighborhood. I still feel, even though artists don't do it no more, I still to be in touch with the community is still strong though.
Very, very strong.
Because they fuck with you then, because they feel like they know you.
Yes,
part of
yes.
you.
See,
you know
and that's very important. A very well-known artist that I know, multi-platinum artist. I won't mention his name. He actually had to leave Calabasas. Yeah, because he couldn't produce any more hits, and I'll tell you why. And he confessed this to me. He goes, "I got to get back in the neighborhood," and I asked him why.
You lost touch.
That's exactly what he said. He said, "I lost my ear to the streets."
Yeah,
bro.
You got to stay connected to the streets.
Yeah,
because you'll become a prisoner of your own world too.
And here's what happened. I remember we were chilling together, and I said, "Let's walk to the liquor store. Let's go get a beer."
Yeah.
And then he was there's the same neighborhood that we used to walk back in the day.
Yeah.
But now he was scared.
Yeah, because he ain't been there so long.
That's what
he
happened.
Ain't street no more.
No, he ain't.
No,
he ain't.
He done went Hollywood. Yeah.
Hey, it is what it is, bro.
But no matter what, you still gotta stay in touch with your people, man, because that's who supported you in the beginning. That's who's gonna be with you in the end too. So
absolutely, man.
You can't turn your back on your people.
Yeah.
You know?
So at this time, any shout outs, anybody you want to holler at, anybody you want to thank, you know,
man, I want to, for the most part, man, I just want to thank everybody that support me. Anybody got love for me, anybody that ride with me when I was, you know what I'm saying, on my journey to try to make it back out, that stood up for me. I respect it. I love you. You know what I'm saying? And for showing, shout out all the producers I work with. AG, man, much love. You already know what it is, man. Cosmo, One Drop, you know what I'm saying? It's all love. DJ Teray. That's it, man. Shout out.
Before we cut out, please explain the title of the album.
The title was 3,650 Days, man. You know what I'm saying? That's 10 years. Okay. That's what it is. I thought about it when I was locked up. I came with the concept, even though I did more than 10 years. But I was like, yo, I'm just going to call that shit 3,650 Days. But in my mind, I wanted to do like a movie to really explain it. But the music, I needed to get the music out. So because I had too much music stacking up, so I'm like, yo, let's drop that shit. Just start dropping it, you know. But just be looking for a lot of things from me in the future.
Okay.
For sure.
Any visuals coming out soon?
Visuals coming out. Working on visuals now. I just shot a few videos. About to edit them down, start dropping. Yeah.
Dope. That'll work.
Got visuals for sure.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank you for coming. It's been a
thank
pleasure.
You. Thank you. It's an honor, man.
Well, I'll tell you what. When you blow the hell up, you owe me another interview. Is that cool?
I got you an interview and a dinner, a bottle of drink, champagne, beer, whatever you want. T. It's good.
Yeah, that'll work.
You know what I'm saying?
Once again, everybody, I would like to thank you for tuning in. Please stay tuned. We got our other guests coming in. But first and foremost, I want to thank MH the motherfucking Don, which I wish him much love, much success in his future. Hopefully this album blows up. You start touring. He comes back. We celebrate. Other than that, we're going to take a 10-minute break. For those of you, once again, that want to pick up the mixtapes, 25 on the donation at DOCUMIXERY.com, or you can hit us 25 on the super chat and we'll get those out to you. So we'll be back with Swifty Blue, everyone. Stay tuned.
Dumb at the Roadium with the funky drum, and you know my man Steve can get some. With a fool like Tony A when he plays stupid dope shit by WA. You wanna spray? Dumb motherfuckers, no doubt. And sucker DJ, get the fuck out. Tony A.
What did you say your name? What did you say your name?
Tony A.
I have won 1 million battles.
Lights, cameras, action sound. Give me that mic, I'm about to go down. Thinking of a master plan.
This story's funny. I met this girl and she had money.
Yo, this is how I see it. Tony A chilling at the Roadium with my homeboy Steve. Be on the lookout for our new 12-inch. The shit is dope. Yo, I like to say what's up to my homeboy Dre, my homeboy Prince of Jazz, and the girls with the big ol' ass. So Trip, I'm about to bust one more time to let y'all niggas know just what's on my mind.
In the morning, police at my door. Fresh Adidas squeak across my bathroom floor. Out my back window, I make my escape. Didn't even get a chance to grab my old school tape. Mad with no music, but happy 'cause free. And the street to a player is the place to be. Got a knot in my pocket weighing at least a gram.
Yo, right about now, Dr. Dre is in effect. Cold tearing shit up with my man Steve at the Roadium swap meet. And we here to lay it on the line. To all them sucker niggas out there claiming our tapes and shit, we just got one thing to say.
Never get you boy, your ass is mine. Never get you boy, your ass is mine. Never get you boy, your ass is mine.
Yeah!
Now my name's Dr. Dre. Now my name's Dr. Dre. Now my name's Dr. Dre.
Went to a party in West LA. Wanna learn a new dance, that's what you say. Well, here's a new dance that can't be matched. So just dance to the flow, do the cat. Here it come, here it come, here it kitty come, come. Here it come, here it come, here it kitty come, come.
Just do 1 2 1 2. Right about now, Easy E and Dr. Dre's in the motherfucking house.
Times are getting crazy, it's really hard to choose it. The Roadium's a spot to get funky, fresh music. Easy motherfucking E and my homeboy Dr. Dre. MC Ren is in effect, and you know we don't play. The Roadium is hitting, but you know you can't leave until you get a deaf ass tape from Steve. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape.
Yeah, man, I came all the way down to the Roadium swap meet, man, to pick up one of them NWA tapes, man. And I talked to homeboy Steve down there, man, and he said I'm fresh out of tapes, man. How the fuck you fresh out of tapes, man? He said 'cause they selling like hotcakes and shit, man.
That's my man going down.
Hey, Mom, what's for dinner?
Yo, welcome back to Roadium Radio, episode 29. Before I introduce my next special guest, once again, for those of you that have been asking me about the Roadium mixtape actually CDs, I have them still available. If you don't want to hit us on the super chat for $25, go ahead and hit us on the donation button at DOCUMIXERY.com, and I'll go ahead and send these out to you. $25 for all 4 of them. And other than that, we are on all major podcast platforms, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, etc. If there's not one, you can hit me up, and believe me, they're everywhere. It'll eventually be on Pandora. It's actually still being processed. But other than that, let me go ahead and introduce my next special guest, Swifty Blue from the city of Paramount. Thank you, my brother, for coming through.
How you doing, man?
Good, brother. I've been anticipating this interview. A lot of people, when I posted your post, flyer that you were going to be here, people say, why him? I'm going to answer that. Because I fucking wanted to. That's why. You know?
Simple as that.
Yeah, simple as that. There's a lot of people say, well, why? Look, I created this platform to give artists a voice. I was sharing with you before our interview that this man, Steve, right here, may he rest in peace, whom I did this documentary about, gave many artists a platform at the swap meet. If you were born at that time and you had a record, you can give it to him and he would sell it on consignment. If he thought it was dope, then he would put it on a mixtape. If the mixtape sold well, then he would say, come back and rap over your instrumental. And that's how he would push artists, because we didn't have radio play, we didn't have social media, we didn't have Google, we didn't have YouTube, etc. So I created this platform to give people like yourself and other people a voice to have, so that their music and their story can be heard. So I just needed to share that in a nutshell. Other than that, so that people just don't hear your music and think you're just a rapper, I would like to give them a little bit of your background. For an example, where were you born and raised at?
I was born in the city of Paramount.
Okay.
I was raised in Paramount.
Okay, pretty much your whole life.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And what elementary school did you attend out there?
I went to elementary. I went to Paramount Park School.
Okay.
Paramount Park School, then graduated Paramount High School. They have the ninth grade, the West Campus, and then they have the main campus, which is, what is it, 10, 11, and 12th grade.
Okay. And were you good at school, man?
You know what? I gave it a try, but I wasn't the brightest student, I did try somewhat, but, I just figured, man, fuck it, it's easier to be a fuck up, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I just figured, like, it's easier just to not try. I tried, and, I wasn't getting the results I was looking for, so I just said, fuck it, let's just get high in this class, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. It's funny because at least you gave it a try. I didn't give it a try.
Yeah.
I was too busy fucking ditching and breaking into people's houses and taking coins, go to the liquor store playing Donkey Kong, while my friends were at school. That's pretty much what I did. Other than that,
Donkey Kong is cool as fuck.
I was good at Donkey Kong. I don't know if you remember Asteroids, Star Castle. I mean, I was a fucking master. All you had to do is give me one fucking quarter, and I'll be on that motherfucker about 2 hours. I mean, that's how good I was at video games. Today, I'm a PlayStation guy. Never got into the Xbox thing, but
Yeah, PlayStation is better than Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I
think
feel.
So.
So growing up in the Paramount, city of Paramount, you actually grew up going to the Paramount swap meet.
Yeah, I always went to the swap meet, go get my white tees, go buy my kicks out there. Probably go get all my fits. I'm a swap meet baby.
Yeah.
Like you said it yourself, I'm a swap meet baby myself.
Yeah, and that's one thing that a lot of people may not, outside of California, may not know about people that were raised in California, that many of us in the hood, we grew up going to the swap meets or to the indoors, because that's where we got our fucking drawers, that's where we got our socks, everything, cologne, and probably even picked up on a couple of hoochie mamas out there.
Yeah, all that shit. Maybe even get your hygiene and your toilet paper. Shit, sometimes they got it wholesale cheaper.
Exactly. I remember when the Compton Indoor was open, we used to have these Korean men, and they used to own the stands. And they used to hire these fine-ass Mexican girls to work their stands. So we used to go over there drunk as hell, or my boys were high as hell, and try to talk to these high-ass over there.
Females.
Yeah, man. But anyways, growing up in your home, what type of music would you say you were raised with, as far as like, what would your dad play or your mother would play around the house as a kid?
My parents would play a lot of my dad would play a lot of Spanish music. I can't really tell you in detail too much what artists or what, because I wasn't really too interested in that. My mom would play a lot of church music.
Okay.
So I grew up on that, but when I turned 13, one of my first CDs was like a Lloyd Banks CD.
No shit.
Lloyd Banks CD, yeah. So for my 13th birthday, my sister took me to Walmart, buy me a CD player, and I picked up a CD. You know what I'm saying? Picked up Lloyd Banks, started slapping it. He had that song, "It's on fire up in here." You know what I'm saying? So I was just going up crazy to that at 13 years old. And my dad, I showed it to my dad, like, look at my new birthday present. He's like, "You're hearing trash, basura. Like, what are you doing?" He didn't want me to listen to it, but I liked it. I thought it was dope.
Well, growing up in a Mexican home, whenever the first records that my parents would hear me play would be like Run DMC. Obviously, I'm a lot older than you, so my music is a lot more old school. But in our Mexican home, it was always bájale esa música de negros. You know, turn down that black music.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I understood it because they weren't raised like that. I get it, but that was our shit. You know what I'm saying? That was our shit, and that's what I grew up on. Whether it be Run DMC, the Fat Boys, Salt and Pepper, fucking Spoonie G, Schoolie D, LL Cool J, and then eventually it got into the hardest shit with NWA, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so that was, if you will, your first introduction to rap was that Lloyd Banks?
Yeah, you know, we would always listen. My sisters, I would always listen to the radio. You know, my brother, he at a young age, he was locked up. So, you know, my sisters, whatever they'll be listening to, like, you know, if I'm in the ride with them, they'll be listening to radio. I was introduced to that. But other than that, you know, my first CD was a Lloyd Banks CD, and then from there I just went on and discovered other artists, you know, like Tupac and, you know, Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg and other artists. I just, you know, I was just like, oh yeah, this slaps. You know, I was like, hell yeah, this is that shit, you know.
That's dope. How many brothers and sisters did you
have? I have one older. The oldest one is my brother, one older brother, and then I have 4 sisters in between, and then I'm the youngest one.
Okay. And when you got out of high school, what did you end up doing? Did you end up getting a job? Did you end up picking up this rap thing?
So what happened was, I was in camp in juvenile hall. I went from LP to camp, and then I graduated in camp because I wasn't going to school. You know, I was ditching. They put me on probation. I violated all types of sort of ways. Went to camp. I graduated in camp. Got out of camp. You know, it was wet. I had to start finding a job. But you know, I was in the streets a lot, and even before I got locked up, I was always just smoking, getting high, and trying to rap. You know, freestyle. You know, like with the homies. You know, in the alleys, literally in the alley, smoking, getting high, rapping and shit, you know, like, and then from there, you know, shit, you know, I started working, whatever, you know, I was forced to get a job, you know, I had my first daughter at a young age, so I was forced to work, but I tried everything, you know, but it just.
Well, we have a lot of similar stories because you said juvenile hall, obviously Los Padrinos.
Yes.
Yeah, I went to Los Padrinos. I was in 7th grade because almost somewhat similar story. I was always fucking ditching. I was never listening to my fucking parents. And I'm one of 10 kids, bro. Like one of 10 kids. So I never got to spend quality time with my mother and my father alone. It was always like me, my little brother, or my sisters. 5 brothers, 4 sisters. So I kind of grew up with the mentality thinking that maybe my parents didn't care about me. But it's just that they had to work to support 10 kids and to feed us. You know what I'm saying? Take care of us. So, but I was always fucking ditching, and then one day, me and my homies broke into a school, just being fucking traviesos, and we broke into a school. We got caught. We ended up going to Los Padrinos, and I think where I changed my life was when I went. I told my mom, "Don't come visit me," because I didn't want her to see me there, you know, and she came anyway. They said, "Hey, you got to visit in the chapel." So I'm like, "Who in the hell is this?" And my mom was there, and I think looking at her face, you know, because my mom is no longer here. My mom passed away over 10 years ago. And I think from that point, I knew I had to change my life because I was El Diablo. That's what they used to call me. You know, and it's funny, as a little kid, I think my mother was kind of like setting me up because 3 years in a row, she dressed me like the devil for Halloween.
Wow.
So, but yeah, that's a little bit. And so I went to Los Padrinos as well. And I didn't finish high school, but I was forced to get a job, and I started working at a place called Zodi's, kind of like a what we'd call it, like Kmart. That's kind of like what it was. Yeah, man. But you know, you know what's funny? People always ask me, are you a weed head? Are you a pot head? And it's funny, I never got into that, man. I never got into that. But I was a drinker. When I was a kid, I was a drinker, so I enjoyed that. But now, around what time, well, what age would you say that you actually started taking, you know, the pencil to the paper and like, you know what, let me try fucking around with this rap shit. Let me start writing raps. Do you remember around what age that was?
Maybe around like, I was writing ever since like 16, 17.
Okay.
Nothing ever serious. Nothing ever serious. I was just writing, you know.
Okay.
And around maybe my 20s, that's when I was like, because I'm 24 now, so when I was 20, that's when I just, you know, started taking it really serious, and I was like, you know, let's write songs, and you know, it's gonna have a concept, and you know, it has a meaning, you know. So
yeah.
So that's when my turning point, you know, and then start taking it serious and dropping content more consistent.
Right. Like you said, something that's similar to myself. You said you had a daughter. My firstborn was actually a daughter, and I was like 21 years old. But you know, I always wanted to be a young dad. That's why I started having kids at such a young age. So believe me, I kind of understand what you went through. And sometimes we think or we believe that music is a way out. For me, it was. Because I got to express myself cutting and scratching, because I started up as a DJ. And to be able to rock a motherfucking party and having ass cheeks clapping all night long and people drinking 40s and pumping their fists, to me that and getting paid for it, to me it was a successful night.
Yes.
You know, and then I eventually got into doing the mixtape thing in the 80s. I got to meet a lot of legends coming up, and it was all because of this man here. It wasn't because I was just this super cool dude, but he introduced me to Dr. Dre, to Eazy-E, and the whole NWA camp, you know, at such a young age. And I was very blessed and fortunate. And I think that's why I reached out to you for this interview, because I believe you were a youngster, and you are 24 years old. And if there's any way, shape, or form that I can help you, you know, that's what I want to do, you know, so that one day, when you get a little bit older and you see the next youngster trying to come up, you help him help open the door because somebody helped you, you know. Always remember this, that there are people out there that support you. They may not ever like your music. I get that, you know. But you know what? They want to help you and they want to see you succeed. And that's me. I want to help you and I want to see you succeed, you know. But so now you start writing, you said, about 20, if I'm correct, or you start doing songs?
Yeah, I started just taking my writing more serious.
Okay. And as far as the production side, as far as doing music and stuff, who have you worked with, or did you ever do any yourself?
I worked with a lot of producers, different producers. I've I've touched a couple things. I haven't done a full production solo, but I want to learn.
Yeah.
I'm open to it, but I work with a lot of different producers. Nobody major. Probably one of the biggest producers I'm gonna work with right now is somebody like Larry J, and he's not even that big, but he's under DJ Mustard, so that's what makes him big, the credibility. But other than that, like, I'm not too big on the hype about it. I don't care. I don't care how big the producer is. I worked with somebody who was not a big producer at all. He doesn't have no platform, and me and him, we dropped a song together. We got 500,000 on YouTube right now. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just all about the creativity, like what you create together. You could build something, you could build somebody up. So So yeah, I just worked with a lot of producers out here, all in Southern California to out of state, just different producers.
Growing up here in Paramount, did you ever play any instruments at all?
You know what? I never played no instruments. I always want to try to learn to play like the keys or something like that, something crazy. But I still haven't had the time. Maybe real soon. I'm focused on something else right now, but eventually I want to learn how to produce and engineer and other things.
Well, honestly, with today's technology, let me encourage you, man, to take advantage of it and learn it yourself.
Yes.
And I'll tell you why, because let me just give you a scenario. I'm a producer. I have a drum machine, and the drum machine that I had at that time, we're talking about 89, it cost a little bit over $2,000, and I couldn't afford that shit. I was just a nickel and dimer, dope selling dude. I couldn't afford that shit. So my manager at this time, Steve, may rest in peace, bought it for me. And he took me over to Dr. Dre's house. He taught me how to use it, and I learned it. But now you need studio time, okay? I have my rapper. He wrote to my beats. Studio time was $75 an hour. Okay, that's what it was.
That's a pretty penny.
Yeah, and the guy who was renting us the studio time would tell us, you have to block it 10 hours at a time.
Wow.
He wouldn't give us any deal. 10 hours at a time. So we're like, okay, fuck. We got to go in there, lay the beat down, okay? Try to at least do 2 to 3 songs in 10 hours, okay? I'm talking about laying the beat down on a 2-inch reel. You still got to buy the reels. They're a little bit over $125. They only fit 3 songs on there because they're only 15 minutes long. So we had to buy 3 of those, a couple of them because we plan on going back. Okay. Then we got to pay for the engineer. Then if we need a bass line, or if we need some what we would call wah-wah or electric guitar, we had to pay for that too. Or let's just say I wanted some strings, we had to pay the keyboardist. And each guy we were paying was $200. Bass line $200, the keyboardist $200. We were already pretty much close to $5,000 in debt, and we didn't even have a song finished.
Wow.
Okay, that's how hard it was back then. But what I liked about it back then was that it took determination. We knew that's what we wanted to do, so we went ahead and invested, and it paid off. With today's technology, you could do pretty much everything from a keyboard and a laptop. So that's why I encourage you to start dabbling in it, especially right now that you're young, you know, because the last thing you want to do is to have dope ass lyrics and then wait on a fucking producer. He should have been here 3 hours ago. You know, when you could just start boom bap and shit yourself.
Not only that is I'm looking to capitalize on everything. So instead of me breaking bread with a producer or having to go, you know, put them under my distribution, whatever, you know, give them splits, I'd rather collect something 100% and not have to purchase exclusive rights off of somebody. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I'd rather I own everything. I created the beat, you know, I produced the beat, I engineer my own record. You know, I don't gotta break bread with nobody.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, so that's what I want to do eventually.
Another guy that does that, and I always like to shout him out and show him love, is Misfit. He engineers his own shit, does his own beats, records his own fucking vocals. Like, I would be down there and he would be by himself, and I go, like, how do you do your vocals? Oh, it's automated. I'll just go in there and eventually it'll kick in, record, and I'll just start busting. You know, I mean, because like I said, today's technology is a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, Misfit works hard.
He's a very, very hard worker. I love his work ethic. Now, let me ask you this. What are you working on right now that people can expect as far as I was on YouTube, for an example, and I heard you do a hook on a song, bounce, rock, skate.
Bounce, rock, roll, and skate.
Yeah.
See these tattoos on my face? I'm from Golden State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that I like that shit.
Well, look, man. I grew up off of the West Coast shit, so I'm a West Coast baby. Those are my roots. You know, you could give me the funkiest beat, you could give me some pop shit, you could give me shit, some G-Funk, and I'll ride that shit like if I was born in the 90s, because that's what I was raised off of. You get what I'm saying? So, but just, you know, with the production nowadays and you know, like, shit, everything changed. That's why the music is so different. But I'm trying to get back in touch with all that West Coast, because that's really what like brings people's attention, you know, like, you know, the older crowd, the older folks, they really love it because it makes them feel like, you know, they have flashbacks and stuff, like, oh, they feel like, you know, they listen to some Pac, some Easy or something, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really good at all that West Coast shit, and you know, that's something they should look forward to. You know, I got West Coast album probably coming in the near future, probably summertime, something called like 95 or something, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Who would you say, other than Lloyd Banks, who you mentioned, were your early inspirations that, like,
and you know what? That was my first CD, but Lloyd Banks was never an inspiration.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, first CD, and I was bumping, and this shit's dope, but he was never somebody like, oh yeah, he's like I want to be like him, big. Right. It was just like dope music. Once I heard something like Pac and Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg, I just felt more at home, you know, like, oh shit, this is me. This is more G. You get what I'm saying? This is like LA shit, West Coast shit. You know, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I like that shit. Like, I listen to Biggie and stuff too. I like it. I'm a fan of it. I listen to Nas, you know, Big L, all types of other lyricism, but I'm more of a like West Coast, like Warren G, Nate Dogg type shit, you know, like just, I like that West Coast shit, you know.
And that's good to know, because if I was still producing, these are the type of questions that as a producer I would ask you, so that I can start forming.
And you know, if you produce it, I'll tell you off the dribble, like, hey, give me some shit like give me some like pop bang, fucking Corrupt. You know what I'm saying? Give me some shit like that. I'm gonna tell you, you know.
Okay.
Give me something like that, just so you know what I'm trying to do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Well, fuck it. Now that I know, I wouldn't mind coming out of retirement and doing a song or two for you, man.
Well, shit, that'd be dope. And honestly, right now I got a lot of traction. Like, I'm really trying to be that one artist in LA, and like, you'll be surprised how many other like artists who are solidified and got a big platform, like, they really don't fuck with me and try to shut me down. You know what I'm saying? Because of the simple fact that I'm coming hard. Like they see me competitive now. They don't see me as like, oh, little bro, like we see you, bro. Like, you know, shout. They used to shout me out, "What's up, bro? We see you." Now they just peeping game. They just like, hey, what's the next move he's gonna make, man? Watch out for him. You get what I'm saying? Because he's coming hard, and it gets like that. You get what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I heard about you on the streets.
Idols become rivals. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to look up to some of these motherfuckers. Now I'm just like, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Like I could do some better shit than them. I could ride their beat better than them. You know what I'm saying? And keep it more G than them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
well, you know what? And that's what I heard about you. People were saying, this guy's coming up. This guy's on the come up. That's the kind of stuff that
it's inevitable. It's inevitable. Everybody's hearing me everywhere you go, and I'm making sure that, you know, every different neighborhoods, different artists, hey, Swifty Blue. I'm a topic conversation everywhere, you know?
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you something, bro. I'm glad that you believe in yourself, and I'm glad that you have the confidence, because I do think that some artists do lack that, what you have. And I'm glad that you
it's a
believe
hunger.
in yourself.
It's a hunger. You know, I ain't never been rich and had nice cars and nice houses, you know, or big income, big streams, how some motherfuckers do. So I want it, you know. I want it. Believe I'm gonna do anything to get it, you know. So
and you're working for it, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna work for it. Yeah, I got I'm gonna drop 24 tracks. I'm gonna drop a project called 2-4 in memory, like in memory of Kobe, but it's 24 songs. Just like the hard work and dedication. Like I got 24 songs sitting, in my email, just ready to go. Like I'm gonna drop it sometime this week. You get what I'm saying? 2-4, and I just got done with 10 days of madness. So it's like I dropped for 10 days back to back. I dropped 10 videos. Music videos to start off the year.
And I think that's very important. Visuals are very, very important. And I'll tell you why. Our very first video, we had to hire a guy. I still remember his name, Ian Fletcher. We hired his ass from Australia. He flew all the way to Gardena to film our first video. And he did DJ Quick's Born and Raised in Compton. He did Second to None's If You Want It. And he did my song, I'm Not Your Puppet, at the Roadium Swamit. And that shit was so fucking whack. It looked like a fucking old ass Godzilla movie. Man. You know, but we paid him 25 G's, bro.
Wow.
25, and that was on the low side.
Wow.
You know, and then of course we ended up paying the Hughes brothers, the Menace to Society directors, like 45, but their shit was legit. You know, it was worth it. For today, shit, if you got 45 G's, you can make shit pop. You can make shit work.
With 5 to 10 G's, you can shoot a dope ass movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get yourself a badass Sony, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's why I say visuals are important, because in today's day and age, today's technology, you can afford to release a video for each fucking song.
Yeah. You know? And you mentioned DJ Quick. His son is doing some production for me right now as well.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Dope. You know, I hear a lot of good things about him, especially that he's a dope engineer as well, like his father.
You know what? I've heard some of his production. Just the simple fact that, you know, he's a studio baby. He was born. It's like, you know, it's like your dad's Kobe. Obviously, you're gonna be a good baller. You're born in the gym. You get, you know what I'm saying? Like you just shooting hoops. You got it. You know, it's around you. So he was born in the studio. From my understanding, he in the studio 2, 3, 4 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, you destined for greatness. So now from my understanding, what he's trying to do, he's just trying to build, you know, like make his own name. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't want to be known as like, oh, just DJ Quick son. No, he wants to build his own legacy and build his own name. So like, you know, like hopefully we knock out some records and, you know, do some good numbers ourselves, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's an awesome thing, because you know what? A lot of people right now do know him as just Quick son. You do have to make your own name.
Yeah, you know? It all starts with building up credits, you know, building up credits. Obviously, somebody like me, I'm a very, you know, diverse artist. People look at me and, you know, like they probably expect one thing. They hear the music and they trip out, you know, oh, you know, he doesn't sound like what he looks, you know, but it throws them off, you know. They probably expect one thing, but, you know.
You know, it's funny because when I was hearing stuff on the streets about Swifty Blue, so one day I Googled you, and then, you know, videos came up, your Instagram came up, and it was weird because I was like saying to myself, man, I keep hearing so much about this guy. And then that day, I remember when me and my boy John, we went where you received that award, and I was actually there to collect an award for this man. That's why I was there. And it's weird because, like, maybe about a day before that, I saw you on Misfits interview. And then before that, I kept seeing you after I did my homework on you. And then you walked through those doors, you know.
To seal the deal.
Yeah. And then
how I met you in person was at the award ceremony.
Yeah. And I said, okay, let me go talk to this guy right here because you know what? There's something simmering up with this guy right here that's about to take off. Whether people believe it or not, it doesn't even fucking matter what they think. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the sad part, okay? And I hate to admit it, but it's true. Then our number one haters, our own raza.
Our own people, yes. You'd be surprised it'd be your own people trying to shut you down the most.
Our own fucking people, man.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. Instead of helping us make a name for ourselves, helping us climb the ladder, helping us succeed, helping us make a good name, not only for ourselves, but also for the raza, they'd rather, who in the fuck is that for?
Yeah, none of these major artists have tapped in and been like, hey man, Swifty, can you open up this show for me? Hey man, whatever, you know, I'm look out, help you out. None of them have. And you know, that's something that I'm willing to do for other younger, hungry artists, just for the simple fact that nobody did it for me. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's sad, but I see it like, no disrespect, like motherfuckers bringing out other artists from the opposite race and they putting them on, but they won't do it for their own people because they see you in competition. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The next race is not my competition. Any black artist, I'm not in competition with you. You know, Asian artists whatsoever. You know, it's my own Hispanic people who see me as competition because we're trying to sew up our market. You get what I'm saying? You want to be the number one seller. You want to be all that. You want to be booked all the time. You know what I'm saying? You want to be the one.
You know, I could be a fucking asshole and say, you know what, I'm going to open up this platform and I'm going to walk in and I'm going to close the door behind me. I'm not going to help fucking nobody. I'm going to make a name for myself. I want the spotlight on me. I'm going to make all the money. Or I could have a different mentality, the one I have now. If I can open up the door for our raza, hey, guess what? There's enough room for everybody. There's enough light and there's enough money.
Teamwork makes the dream work, man. It's easier to work together than against each other.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
The sad part is that's why I preach unity, you know, for our people to support each other. But the sad part is, you know, it's going to be the way it is.
You know what? As much as we want unity in the culture, there's always going to be somewhat segregation because there's a lot of politics between everything, and people always, you know, they let that get between relationships and whatnot, so they end up choosing who they affiliate with and who they don't. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So as much as we want unity within all the Hispanic people and whatnot, there's always going to be somewhat that segregation. So it's just like you support those who support you. If anybody has offered a platform for me, then I'm going to offer my platform for them. You know, if anybody's done something for me, I'm going to do something for them. If you haven't done nothing for me, you know, if I don't know you, if you haven't tried to knock me before, I might still be open to working with you. But, you know, if you have resources and you're not willing to open them for me, then, you know, I'm sorry, I can't do nothing for you as well. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, I'm going to share a story with you before we go to break. There was a guy that has a huge he had a popular podcast platform. And what I was doing, I was reaching out to him a little bit over a year ago to promote this. Hey man, can I come on your podcast to promote this? He knew my history. He knew who I dealt with. But he saw me as a threat. So he pretty much told me no. He just said, nah, dude, you know, you're just going to have to make your own lane. That's what he told me.
He blocked your blessing.
Yeah. So I said, all right, cool, man. No problem. No problem. I started this podcast just to promote this, not for nothing else. Promote this and to give people a voice. I didn't think it was going to do anything. Started taking off, started getting subscribers. We went from 230 subscribers from opening day to now almost 8,000 subscribers in 4 months. Just in 4 months, okay?
That's good. That's good.
This
really
guy now had the balls enough to call me up and ask me, hey man, can you interview me on your podcast?
I love that. I love when that shit happens.
So, you know what I told him? I said, do you remember what you told me? That's what I said. And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, hold on. I want you to listen to something. And I just hung up.
Oh, man.
That was it.
Hey, you know what? It's artists who I reached out to, and I'm like, hey, man, let's work. You know, let's put something together. And, you know, they try to hit me with a price, you know, feature price or whatnot. And then, like, you know, they eventually they tap back in and they like, hey, man, let's work. You know, they see the platform or whatnot. And I'm just like, you know, I try to be humble, but at the same time, I'm just like, I'm not too fond of it anymore. Well, you know, once you give me that energy, I'm going to give it right back, you know. And and it is what it is.
It is what it is. Hold that thought, brother. We're going to go ahead and press pause right there. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to continue working on who you're working with right now. What can we expect from you? When can we expect their visuals? All that good stuff, bro.
Cool,
So once again, everybody, Let me give a shout out to Fashion Town. My boy Jen hooked me up with the hat, hooked me up with the Harbor area shirt. You can visit him at Fashion Town. He is located in between, I want to say, Torrance Boulevard, or no, Carson Street and Western. Carson Street and Western. I think that's his street. Carson Street and Western, in between, if you will, Torrance and Carson. So much love and respect to him. The Roadium mixtape DOCUMIXERY, you can order that at DOCUMIXERY.com. The mixtapes drop at $25 on the super chat and I'll send them to you, or you can go to the website and I will you can hit the donate button, send me $25 and I will send these out to you. By the way, the book went out, all the orders of the CDs have gone out, so those of you that are interested in them, you go ahead and hit the donate button and I'll send them out to you. Once again, we'll be back with Swifty Blue in the motherfucking house. Call somebody, text somebody. As a matter of fact, break a bottle or somebody's motherfucking head and let them know that we'll be back in 10 minutes. Lonzo, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You sure?
Motherfucker, I'm ready, goddamn!
Like it ain't shit, cause I'm a player motherfucker named DJ Quick.
It's a full-time jack move. Billy Joe, yo, homie, make the track move. Freestyle, me, mama, get the big chicken. Sweat dripping, girl, is a number when you chill.
Walked in the house, got shot. 1,
and we heard about this young kid from the Harbor area named Tony A. And he was a DJ, Holmes, and he was going in with the big stars, you know what I'm saying? And he was like one of us going in and infiltrating inside of all these MCs, you know what I'm saying?
A Roadium mixtape is just mixed of different types of music, no matter what genre it is. And like I said, it's like making your own musical movie.
When La Raza came out, man, even the amount of sales of the single of La Raza that got moved out of the Roadium was crazy, bro. And that song just got played and was played in all the stands over there. And I was blessed to go back one time, even see it, and I want to say in 91 or 92.
Although they were not black, they were Oriental, Asian, whatever you want to call them, they were cool. And they embraced everybody, blacks, Latinos, whoever came to the swap meet to want to buy music, they were record people.
Just do 1 2 1 2. Right about now, Eazy-E and Dr. Dre's in the motherfucking house.
Times are getting crazy, it's really hard to choose it. The Roadium's a spot to get funky, fresh music. Easy motherfucking E and my homeboy Dr. Dre. MC Ren is in effect, and you know we don't play. The Roadium is hitting, but you know you can't leave until you get a deaf-ass tape from Steve. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape.
Yeah, man, I came all the way down to the Roadium swap meet, man, to pick up one of the NWA tapes, man. And I talked to homeboy Steve down there, man, and he said I'm fresh out of tapes, man. How the fuck you fresh out of tapes, man? He said cause they selling like hotcakes and shit, man. Got my man going down. Hey, mom, what's for dinner?
Man, like the NWA and Eazy-E music hit the Roadium swap meet mixtapes first. Like when we dropped our records, man, it was cool putting your records out, but even though people knew who Dre was and I was and Cube and Yella before, they didn't really know who Eazy was. But not until, Boys in the Hood and some of that, Fat Girl and LA is the Place, that stuff hit the mixtapes, man. That's what kind of put it out there for people to know, like, what is this Eazy-E? What is this NWA thing? So I think it was like a big, big push.
The Roadium swap meet mixtapes had a huge impact on hip-hop and the hip-hop culture because it was different. And, wasn't nobody doing it like that. You had New York, they was doing mixtapes, but, you had NWA who was saying whatever the fuck they wanted to say. Motherfuckers wasn't doing that shit, speaking how they wanted to speak, and what that did was open up a lane for what they call gangster rap today and the hip-hop culture. And it really opened up lanes for pretty much for the West Coast gangster shit to get out. And nobody else was doing that, and it was just different. And people were scared to say what they wanted to say. And that buzz came from Steve at the Roadium swap meet, working with Dre and Eazy and created a whole plethora of good music and it created a lot of lanes and opened up a lot of lanes from artists like myself to be able to come out. I'm part of the tree. I'm a branch on the tree that Dre and Eazy started, and then on my branch you got Snoop, the Dogg Pound, 50 Cent, Eminem, and all of those guys. That's all on my branch, the Chronic. And that's what it created, man.
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 29, and we have Swifty Blue in the house. Once again, before we continue our interview, there is something that I actually want to play because it pertains to this interview. I want to ask him something about this little video clip that we're about to play. This video clip is actually Snoop doing a radio interview, and I thought he said something very important for this younger generation pertaining to music. So we're going to go ahead and roll that clip, and then I'm going to go ahead and ask Swifty a question that was, if you will, encouraged by this interview. Go ahead, Johnny.
This style gonna live forever because it's mine, and nobody could do my style. Now the ones who creating it gonna live forever, but the ones who duplicating gonna fall off. And there's a lot of duplicating going on. I hear the same sound a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Even the same beat style.
A lot. And it used to be a time where back in the days you couldn't do that. That was called biting. If I took your shit and put it on my shit, that's biting. There was no two rappers who rapped the same in the 80s. There was no two. It was the only two rappers that was similar was Dana Dane and Slick Rick. They was similar, but they wasn't the same.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm a rap historian. In the 90s, there was no two rappers that rapped the same.
Yeah, that biting shit was not going
2000, it's 100 niggas that rap the same. I represent hip hop, man. I don't understand nothing else but it, but I respect the youngsters. I respect the movement because it's a young man's game, and I've always been like that. That's why they call me Uncle Snoop, because I never disrespected them. I've always treated them as my nephews. Even if I didn't like their shit, I never told them I don't like it. I tell them, look, maybe you should try to be a little bit more original and not follow the fad. You know, because the fad is only a fad. That rap style is going to play out in a minute, but if it's yours, it's going to live on forever. Just like when T-Pain came out. T-Pain was the shit. Then everybody took his auto-tune
and went with it.
Now where's T-Pain?
He even got a fucking, where's his hair at? He fucking cut his shit off too.
Because that's what the game do. The game suck you dry. It takes from you. You know what I'm saying? It's like the originals got to understand, when you're original, you got to find ways to diversify your portfolio. In other words, meaning that how I always come back with some different shit. I'm Snoop Dogg at all times, but I'm able to do this, that, and that, to where it finally comes back to the point to where I started in 1992. It's 2015, and I'm still on the radio talking to you about an album I got coming out that's relevant.
I'm just so happy I was there when it all started. You can't, I mean, you have to be there at that moment to, you know, experience that so you can understand what hip hop is. These new kids now, you can't remember what was last year's hit.
Nah.
Fuck that. So shout out to Kendrick Lamar, who could have done all the hard shit, but he came out different also with his last
he's
album.
a seed. He's a seed of great MCs. He's a product of it. So when we planted the seed, he ended up growing into who he is right now. A lot of times you got great MCs who drop seeds all over the world, and those seeds grew into MCs who are becoming the real MCs, the ones who are going to be here 10 years from now.
Let's go. Okay, everybody. Once again, welcome back to Roadium Radio, episode 29. And one thing that I just wanted to point out, when Snoop Dogg was giving that interview, he said that in the 80s and 90s, there was not two rappers that sounded the same. There were two rappers that were similar, Dana Dane, Slick Rick. The beats didn't even sound the same. Everybody had their own style. So now, my question to you is this, Whip. You rapping today, the year is 2020. There's a lot of rappers that sound the same, even a lot of the music that sounds the same. If I was somebody from a record label and you brought your music to me, before I press play on your music, I would ask you one question. How are you different from any other rapper out there rapping today? What would be your best answer?
You know what? I'm the only Hispanic that sounds the way I do.
Okay.
You know, I stand apart. You could have 10 homies and, you know, 10 other Hispanics on the same record, and, you know, one Swifty Blue stands out, one Swifty Blue verse comes on, you are off the drip. Hey, that's Swifty Blue. You just know, because he sounds so different. You get what I'm saying? I just have a style, a lingo. You know, it's different. Okay. It's different. It's not your typical Chicano rap. It's not your typical, you know, you know what you expect. You just. Okay.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you answered it the way you did, because most people that I presented that question to got stuck. They didn't know how to answer. They just said, "Here's how most people would answer." Well, you know what I'm saying? I'm just me. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. Like, that was their best answer. But you knew what you wanted to say because you believe in yourself. You believe in your style. And what Snoop was saying there, and I agree with him, that those that have their own style, their own original style, are the ones that are going to outlast those that are copying everybody else. Okay, you have your own sound, you have your own style. That's what makes you unique, and that's why you believe in yourself. That I'm different. Not necessarily that you're going to be better than everybody else, but you're different, and that's why you stand out the way you do.
Yeah, it's just like food. Like you go get tacos, certain places got better sauces, better meats than other places. So it's like, you know, they got a good flavor right here. You're gonna come to the spot because of the flavor that they have, the sauces. You know, you just. You know, you get what I'm saying? That's how it's with the rap music. We got a certain flavor, certain sauce that, you know, other artists don't have. So other restaurants, they don't have this. It doesn't taste the same. So they, you know, they gonna keep coming back to us, and it's just a taste that you always gonna remember. Like, hey, that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the McDonald's fries. Everybody knows what they taste like. You could have a test of fries and be like, these are from Tams, these are from Louis Burgers, these are from McDonald's, these are from Rally's. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? A lot. Some hamburgers places they taste the same. You know what I'm saying? Like the Tams and the Doubles burgers, they kind of taste the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right, so why even go there?
So exactly, but you know, like if you want something that tastes this way, you know where to go. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's just we got our own flavor, our own sauce. You know?
And that, I'm glad. Like I said, I'm happy with your answer because again. The way Snoop said it was in the 80s and 90s, no two rappers sounded the same. Now let me ask you a question, another question pertaining to this interview that we showed you. If you would have came out in the 90s, do you think you would still be making noise the way you are today?
You know what? If I would have came out in the 90s, if that was my era, it would have been a little different, you know. I'm not accustomed to. I was raised in the 90s, but I didn't grow up in the 90s. You get what I'm saying? Like I was a baby. I was born in 95. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe if I adapt to the culture and if I was on game and if I had the right resources, potentially. But it's a game of probability. It's probability. You know, if I didn't have the resources or whatnot, it would have been tough. You know what I'm saying? But potentially, if I had the right resources, whatnot, you know what? I think maybe so, for the simple fact that I'm in Paramount. I'm down the street from Long Beach. So I'm down the street from Snoop Dogg. I'm down the street from Compton. I'm down the street from, you know, Eazy. I'm down the street from Dr. Dre. You know, so it's like, you know, imagine I'm out here trying to push my records. You know what I'm saying? All I got to do is take a drive over the bridge and be like, hey, let me go, you know what I'm saying, pull up on these parking lot, pimp on these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not too far out the picture. So it's like, you know, I think I would have had probability, like, you know, a little better on my side, you know.
Dope. And you like a lot of 90s beats anyway, so
yeah, man. I like I said, we gonna remake a lot of stuff. We're gonna redo a lot of stuff. Hopefully, we could create some original stuff. But yeah, we got some stuff coming, you know. Now
here's an off the wall question. What is your favorite, if any, Tupac songs?
I like "Bury Me a G." I like "Bury Me a G." I like "Wonder Why They Call You Bitch." I like a lot of songs from Tupac, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what's my favorite, honestly, but it always brings me to tears.
Which one?
So Many Tears.
Yeah, so many tears. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's so many tears.
Yeah, dude. That song right there. I would say that's my.
You know what? When my first loss ever, when I lost my first homie, that's how I cope with my loss. I was bumping "Life Goes On." How many brothers fell victims to the streets? You know, I was like, that's how I was coping with it. So that's one of my. That's one of the reasons I make music. I did a song called "Time Flies," and I did this song for my daughters. In the song I'm explaining why I was gone last December. You get what I'm saying? So it go, you know, the hook is like I'm rapping about my daughter, like time flies, even passing by, baby. I just hope you love me even when I'm gone. You know, and then it comes in. I'm rapping about. I'm telling a story, like you know about last December. You know, I didn't get to take my daughters to school, whatnot. All that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I even showed me picking up my daughters from school in the video. You know, I'm rapping about it. But yeah, that's the concept of it. Like, you know, it's for people to cope with being locked up. That one's dedicated to the ones locked up who can't see their kids. You get what I'm saying? Because there's so many fathers trying to raise their kids behind the walls. You know, whatever who they want to be involved, but for some reason, you know, the streets got the best of them, or you know, they fighting cases or whatnot, fighting jail time.
How many daughters do you have?
I have 2 daughters.
Okay.
I have 2 daughters.
You know, Are you active in their lives? Obviously you are.
Yeah, I see them every day.
That's a good thing. Let me tell you why that's a good thing. A very famous rapper that I will leave unnamed, but at the time he was living in Calabasas, and I went to his house, and he had a bunch of pictures on the wall. Like he had a huge wall, but he had a bunch of pictures, like maybe 5x7s, hundreds of pictures, and I was looking at every single one of those pictures, and I couldn't find him in those pictures, but I found his wife and his kids. It was just wife and kids, just kids, wife and kids. And I must have looked at all like 200-300 pictures that he had up there. And I never found one of him. So I asked him, I said, dude, where are you at in these pictures, Because they all live together. And he looked and he couldn't find any. So he tells me, I'm gonna go take a shower, I'll be back. Give me about 30 minutes. His wife comes down, and this is what she said. She said, the reason why he's not in those pictures, because he never takes pictures with us. He's not active in his kids' lives. He's not there. Even though he is who he is, he's never home. He's always out of town. He's hardly ever here. Now, that woke me up as a parent. This was, I want to say 2005. No, you know what? I'm sorry, 2007, because I took a break from the music business 2007, and I came back almost the end of 2016, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I took a break was because I said, I'm not going to be that guy. I want to be active in my kids' lives. I do. So I'm glad that you pointed out that you did that for your daughters. You even showed them in the video, picking them up. And because let me tell you something. If you don't father them and you don't take care of them, the streets will. The streets will.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. So I encourage you to continue to be a good role model to your kids.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna make their own YouTube channel real soon. I'm gonna have them start their own blogs, and as well as eventually, like not now, but real soon, I'm gonna have them do their own little music or whatnot. Maybe we'll start them off like singing the ABCs or whatnot, something like that. I'm gonna use my platform to try to get my fans and my people to interact with my kids.
Right, and see where it goes from there.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully you could create a strong YouTube, and they could get their own little thing popping.
I tell my kids, school first, because that little diploma will get you in the doors that the streets can't.
Exactly.
And that's just the way it is.
And you know what? It's just a whole business mindset as well. If you have a business mindset, you can make it far in life. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I could get my kid, to create their own platform, their own YouTube, and they can sell their own merchandise or whatnot. You get what I'm saying? As kids, man, I'm starting them off with that business mindset at a young age, and they're gonna have their own, entrance for economy for them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, so now, are you working on anything right now? I know you mentioned videos. I know you mentioned you have songs.
Yeah, I'm working on. Okay, we got a big record that we just put together. My first Spanish record where I got a Spanish record that I dropped with one of my homeboys, but I had done a Spanish record prior to that one, and this Spanish record I did with the homeboy, it was more of like a gangster rap, gangster trap record, so I speak a little Spanish in there. But then before I did that Spanish record, I had done a Spanish record, but it was more like of a love song. It was more of a love song about a female. That was my first Spanish record ever. Okay, so that was probably one of my biggest records, for the simple fact that it was my first Spanish record, and it was so good. Like, even the mother of my kids, who doesn't like my music, she won't listen to it. It's not her style of music. She liked that Spanish record that I did because it was about a female, so she really liked it. She was impressed. So I was like, yeah, this is big. For me to get her to speak like that about me, that's big, because you know how it is, man. You got kids, so the mother of your kids is not gonna sugarcoat nothing. She's gonna tell you how it is. She's gonna tell you raw. You know what I'm saying? If she likes it, she likes it. She doesn't, she doesn't.
Yeah.
So if she likes something, then it's a win. It's a win. You know.
And that's what that was my next question. Is like with that Spanish stuff, how was the response other than her?
So guess what? So okay. we went ahead. I showed it to a few people, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I got the Spanish record I'm working on." I tried to get a couple people on the record. You know, I was thinking like, yeah, maybe like, you know, at the moment I was talking to Phoenix from Shoreline Mafia.
Okay.
And you know, we had reached out to each other. We had, you know, very brief conversations through Instagram, and he said send him some records. Send him that one. I told him different, you know, I'm trying to do something different. And he was for it. He said like, yeah, man, I'll rock with it. You know, that's dope. He's like, bro, this is crazy. Phoenix from Shoreline Mafia.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, we had a little misunderstanding and whatnot. We ended up not working, you know.
But he was feeling it.
Yeah, he was feeling it. So that was already a win. I had reached out to my boy who I did the record, who was on the hook of the Spanish song. Because he did some singing, he did some Spanish singing, and I came in with 4 bars English and then transitioned to Spanish. And then I told him like, hey bro, Phoenix told me he's gonna do a verse, you know, and Phoenix has a big platform, so
yeah.
So he was like, oh yeah, that's dope, you know, we fuck around, get a billboard or whatever, because it's a Spanish record, it's big. But homeboy never did it, so whatever, we sat on it for another 4 or 5 months. I showed it to some of my management, and they said, you know what if we throw Melly Mel on there? And I'm like, who's Melly Mel? I look her up, and she's from Dominican Republic. She's a female artist, really dope artist.
Okay.
So we paid her to get on the record. You know, we flew her out to Los Angeles. We shot the video, and right now the video's getting edited. You know what I'm saying? The song we had Peru, Latin Grammy. He's a Latin Grammy nominated producer. We had him cut the beat, so he produced the beat for us, and yeah, it's just everything is just set up for greatness. You know what I'm saying?
What's the name of the song so that people can look for it when it does drop?
The name of the song is Ganas.
Ganas. Okay.
Yeah, Ganas. Well, originally that's what we named the song, but we'll go ahead and see if they stick with the name. But we're trying to see right now. We're debating whether we're gonna drop it on World Star, whether we're gonna drop it on some Latin platform. But we're trying to figure out what's the best drop for it to get the biggest platform possible, for it to get, you know, the most streams possible, because it's a big record, so we want the world to hear it, you know.
Yeah.
Want the whole world to hear it. You know, it got a little bit. It's a Spanish record, but it got a little bit of English in it. You know.
Oh.
It's it's like a love song somewhat. It's about a female, but it's really big record. You know.
You never know how far it can go.
Compared to all my gangster stuff, you know, everybody used to hear me rap about guns in the streets and, you know, robbing and whatnot. This is just a twist, a major twist. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's something for
and the
people.
response has been good.
Yeah, exactly. Without the record being released, you know, I show it to people. I show it to a couple females just to get the response from them, and they love it.
And this girl, what was her name again?
Melly Mel, MELYMEL. You guys can look her up. She has over like 1 million followers on Instagram, close to 300,000 subscribers on YouTube. She has a solid platform, so she's a really big artist, and so we put her on the record for that simple fact that she has a big platform, and she's really dope. So that's kind of what we need. You know, we need somebody with a big platform. You know, and obviously, you know, we're not trying to go for the biggest. You know, biggest platform. You know, we're not gonna throw fucking Beyonce or Cardi B or something like that on the song. But we went somewhere close, like somebody who's big, who's accessible, who's Hispanic, Latin. You know, who's gonna fit the song perfect. And you know,
are you open to continue to do Spanish stuff?
Actually, the management, they want me to do one of my next albums with them. They want me to do a Spanish album, you know. So they don't want my first album was you know, English gangster rap, you know, more like, you know, hood tales, whatever, you know, just street stuff. And then the next they're telling me that the next album they want to work with me. They want to do a Spanish records.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they want to twist it up a little bit.
That'll work. Yeah,
not saying that the gangster stuff doesn't sell, but we're just trying to you know, take it to the next level.
Yes, absolutely.
What's more marketable?
Well, you know, let me say this about Latinos, Chicanos, Mexicanos in general, Latinos in general. We have the greatest fans in the world, okay? And many of them support us and love what we're doing but you have that small percentage that we're not going to worry about. Okay, there's enough money and enough light and enough room for all of us Latinos here in this music industry. So go with what works for you and what makes you happy.
Exactly.
Okay, because I'm doing what I love. I'm 51 years old. You know, I'm about to be 52 in March. And I'm doing what I love, man. I want to be able to like, to me, I'm like in retirement right now, bro. I'm enjoying fucking life. People ask me, do you like your life? People ask me that. Fuck yeah, I'm having a dope ass time.
Yeah. Have you heard my English records? Like any one of them? You heard the California one?
Yes.
Okay, so imagine this. You hear me over here like,
yes.
Bounce, rock, roll and skate. See these tattoos on my face? I'm from Golden State. Okay, now imagine you hear this other record, the Spanish record, where I'm like, shawty looking good, she got the body of a goddess. I'm just being honest, baby, your style is the hottest. Me dice que le gusta la música en la bocina. Piel bien clarita con la cara bien bonita. Me pongo marihuana cuando fumo mi motita. You know what I'm saying? It's a different twist from bounce, rock, roller skate to from I'm an essay with a cuete and I do this for the gang. It's just different. You
I
know?
love it though.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
And
yes.
how can you expect? You know, people don't expect that from me. Like
Right.
they're used to hearing me rapping. Like I got a 40 with a 30 and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
To piel bien clarita con la cara bien bonita. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Even for that video shoot, I went ahead and dyed my hair blue because I was really on some fly shit. So I'm like, yeah, man, let me go ahead and, you know, I'm doing a Latin song, like, you know, as a Latin artist, shit, let me go ahead and sauce it up a bit,
Exactly.
spice it up. You know what I'm saying? You know, people are used to seeing a certain Swifty blue. I'm just trying to show them a whole nother side of my creativity. You get what I'm saying?
That's dope, man.
From
That's
my
dope.
image to my music.
But like I said, bro, if there's anything that I really like about you, honestly, is that you believe in yourself, man.
Yeah.
And I just wish that other people would believe in themselves, because I've talked to artists throughout the years. They're like, well, you know, I don't know. I think it's cool. I don't like to hear that, man.
No, you need to be sure. You know,
Yes.
you need assurance. You
Yes.
can't. You can't be like, hey man, like shit, maybe nah. You're gonna be like, fuck it, let's run it. You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
run
Let's
it,
go,
let's do it.
let's do it.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? Run it.
And so this video is being edited. So
Being
it'll be-
edited.
What would you say? Roughly a month or so?
Roughly a month, and then another month, so we could get situated on the platform. So within 2 months, the video should be out. Hopefully, you get what I'm saying. Before the summer, something for us to look
Yeah,
forward
they'll
to.
be banging it in the club.
Yeah, man, hell yeah, be all in all clubs. You know what I'm saying? Be all in the streets, be all on the internet and the YouTube. You know.
What did you guys film the video at?
We filmed it at a nice house in the Redlands in like Riverside area.
I think those are the pictures I might have seen.
Yeah, one of the pictures that you used for the podcast.
Yeah.
So one of those nice houses. We booked the Airbnb, and you know what I'm saying, a big little house, and yeah, we shot the video there. It looked really legit, really dope. You know, got them little nice fancy vibes, and you get what I'm saying.
You know, earlier before we talked, and I think this is very important for a lot of these young artists today, possibly if they're even teenagers. You told me that you're independent, that you weren't trying to shop or a major record deal, if you will. You want to be in charge of everything.
Yes, you know.
Why did you decide to take that route?
You know, obviously, I'm an underdog. I don't got too many resources, and the majors, they don't look at me as if I'm too marketable or whatnot, you know, and they're gonna, you know, it's like anything else. It's like you work for somebody, they're gonna tell you what to do.
Yes.
You know, they're gonna run your program, they're gonna run your schedule, and you know, that's just something I'm not looking forward to doing. Like, you know, I quit my job, my regular job, my 9-to-5 job, because I didn't want to, you know, have to come to work every day and listen to somebody and, you know, have somebody above me. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do my own thing and just go hard. I'm gonna hustle and I'm gonna rap and I'm gonna do whatever I have to do just to keep my head above the water. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I figured, you know, if I don't got no management, if I don't got no major record label behind me, you know what I'm saying, if I own my record label, I start my own shit, then what's gonna hold me back? What's gonna stop me? Me. Like, I'm the only thing that's gonna stop me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, fuck it. Let me invest a little bit of money I have. Fuck it. If I don't got no money, we're gonna shoot with our limited resources, you know? That's all it is, you know. I just work with what I was given. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I work with what I was given, and I make the best of it, you know.
Well, so far so good.
So far so good. You know, we're making noise.
And as far as shows, where can people expect? Are you performing anywhere where people can expect you to?
Okay.
Expect to see you.
February 12th, we have a show in Los Angeles area, close to downtown. Okay, that's the most recent show we have coming up.
Right.
So if anybody's interested, you know, they could go ahead and buy tickets online. I have the link in my Instagram, in my bio, Swifty Blue. You know, other than that, if they're really interested, I think I posted an ad on YouTube, but Instagram, that's where I have the link. You get what I'm saying? So that's the best way to get your tickets. You know, and go check out the information for the show. But yeah, that's the show we got coming up February 12th. We got one February, what is it? When is Valentine's Day? The 14th or the 15th? 14th. Yeah, we got another show February 14th on Valentine's Day with Night of the Blaxican. That's another big platform right there. So we got a couple shows back to back, and then a month after that, I'm throwing my own show. A month after that, March 12th through the 15th, I'm gonna pick a date and I'm gonna throw my own show again after that. So we just getting started. Like, get the ball rolling with the shows this year, but we're gonna make sure we stay consistent. And anybody in the LA area is more than welcome to come check out the shows, come vibe out, enjoy yourself. As of now, it's only Los Angeles, due to certain circumstances, probation, whatever, we cannot leave Los Angeles.
Okay.
But once we get that situation cleared up, hopefully within the next year, we'll be able to travel. We'll be able to tour. We'll be able to hit, all the states that fucking with us.
Dope, man. You know what? Well, I'm excited. I would definitely love to come see you. Are you going to be performing that Spanish song at these shows?
You know what? As it's a big probability. It's a big chance we will. It's a big chance we will. I need to talk to the management and see how they feel about it. But I don't think that it will be a problem because it's good marketing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's a win situation for both parties, for the investors as well as me.
Yeah, dope, man. Okay. At this time, brother, first of all, I want to say it was truly been an honor and a pleasure to have been able to chop it up with you. I always tell people when they come here, don't look at it as an interview. Look at it as that we're just talking. Okay. Yeah. That's the way I like to do it. At this point in time, is there anybody you would like to give a shout out to, special thanks? Where can people reach you? Whatever.
Yeah, I want to thank my whole team, everybody behind me, Soulless, Cali, Isaac Galvan for connecting a lot of dots. I want to thank Jay Nino. He's my business partner with Grimy Records. I want to thank everybody who's been so supportive and showed a lot of love and just offered resources.
Dope.
So all my teammates,
Good, brother. Well, listen, at this time, I'm going to give my shout outs, but I want to say that I thank you for coming.
Yes, sir.
I thank you for being here, chopping it up with me, opening up, and allowing people to hear you on this Roadium Radio, on this platform. Again, this platform was created to give people like you a voice for not only supporting you as an artist, but to getting to know you as a person.
Yes, sir.
So once again, I'm going to give my shout outs. I want to thank my boy John motherfucking Elkins in the motherfucking place to be. Also want to thank my boy D to the motherfucking G. That's what he said. So I got to shout him out. And I'd like to thank my son B-SKANLESS for helping me support, and promote and push this shit. Other than that, I want to thank that sorry ass motherfucking hater on Instagram that's constantly reporting my motherfucking memes. I post them on my story to make people's easy days, life better. Keep them laughing, keep them giggling. But they're probably just fucking mad because I'm making their girl laugh. If that's the case, don't fucking follow me, dude. Like, why you follow me if you're gonna if you're gonna report my shit? Like, I don't fucking get that. But anyways, eat a dick. Other than that, I'm on Tony A the Wizard on Instagram still. That was my backup page. He probably heard that and he's probably going to report that one too. But if we find out who he is, it's going to be green light on that motherfucker. So other than that, the Roadium Mixtape DOCUMIXERY, Jen from Fashion Town, give them a visit. The Roadium Mixtape CDs, hit us on the donation. On the website, documixery.com, $25, and I'll send them out to you. Other than that, on major platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio. There was one more thing. Oh, Sunday, we will not be on because it's Super Bowl Sunday. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and I want to watch the fucking game. I don't want to be cooped up in here. So Sunday, no Roadium Radio, but we'll be back next Wednesday. Really quick, I don't know if you like football. Who are you rooting for on Sunday, Chiefs or the 49ers?
Man, honestly, I can't even answer that because I'm not a big football fan. I probably won't even watch the Super Bowl.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I'll be real with you. I'll probably go somewhere, eat some barbecue, and bounce out.
Well, that'll work. Well, I got the Chiefs.
I'll probably hit the studio. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
hit the studio right.
That'll work.
But who you going for?
I'm going with the Chiefs.
I'm a bandwagon. I'm going with who you going.
Okay, the Chiefs. Okay,
let's go.
Let's go Chiefs. Even though I'm a Cowboys fan, but Chiefs.
I'm a Lakers fan.
There you go, Lakers all day. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Everybody have a blessed night. We'll see you next Wednesday. Talk to you soon. Good night. Eat a dick, homie.
Yeah, I'm horrible with sports. I don't know.